Hello everybody, welcome back to Wappelville. What we're going to try and do here is Settra on his big old chariot here. And let's see if we can do these mummified horses, do the base on this, and see what we can make happen for Settra. Actually, I was thinking maybe I might change this to a glowing weapon. At first, I was going to do like a little flamey thing on the base, like we did on last night's horsey right here. Hey there, Armored Wolf. Actually, I'm going to I thought I had already refreshed this here, so I'm going to do that. Hey, Ryan, nice to see ya. So instead of doing another one of the flamey skulls, and Crazy Wolf, nice to see you too. I'm just gonna maybe have this be the glowy thing right there. So nice to see you there, Bobzilla. How you doing? I hope that everything goes well. let me see if I can grab me a couple of my filbert brushes, which are here's some of them right here. Let's just grab some of these guys, shall we? Let's try that for right now. Yeah, let's do that. Now, of course, we've been doing a few other chariots here, and we'll see if we can kind of carry some of this color scheme through there as well. So, Big Bobzilla, nice to see you. I hope again that you're doing really, really well. Now, just taking a little quick look-see at this here. Yeah, I don't think we're going to go too crazy with the turquoise stuff on that. Maybe we'll go, I think, more of a golden chariot here. Might do something like that. I will keep going with our Terra Rosa stuff here. Oh, by the way, sorry I forgot to put this video up on the Patreon page. I finally remembered to do that. So yeah, sorry about that. Didn't mean to delay on that. I'm just trying to find a focal point for here because, well, this is 100 millimeters square. Now, of course, I have no idea if his base is supposed to be different now these days because, well, you know how things go. We're going to start doing some of our dry brushy stuff here. We'll kind of begin the way we have in the previous things here with some of the asphaltum, and we're just going to get going here, say, on the floor and such. We certainly want to have shadows underneath the horses, right? No doubt about it. We'll be able to get some of the turquoise, I think, on our horses over here. Maybe we'll also try to do different colors on our horses, if that's possible. Again, I'm mostly just if I'm gonna do the glowy stuff there, I don't want to get too bonkers doing this. So Ryan, great to see you again. Happy Saturday. Yeah, I was hoping to start maybe about 15 minutes earlier than this, but I was on the phone with Kathy's mom, so I tried to start this as early as I could. So again, this is all just kind of the dry brushy stuff because there's no way we could safely get any pre-glaze stuff in here. That's for sure. That would be a little bit of a difficulty, to say a challenge, to say the least. Yeah, that wasn't really going to be possible. And this is, when we say dry brush, we're talking about a dry brush. There is not a whole lot of paint on this. Yeah, we'll keep going with this. Just keep doing that here. And I think I'm liking the idea of the golden chariot, and then some of these bits, those will be the turquoise bits. So I think that might just work a little bit better for us there. Again, just a little bit of the asphaltum for now, just a little bit of the asphaltum, and then some of the radiant. What is that? Oh, the radiant violet there. Hey there, Mr. Clean, how you doing? I know that football results have not really been fun, whether that's on the collegiate level or the pro level. Just hoping we at least get some decent games tomorrow. So, Mr. Clean, I'll try to give you guys a buzz. We've still been lots of mayhem here. Hopefully, not so much over there. Oh, hey, Mr. Clean. Well, there's not that many people in the chat there, but if you wanted to start sharing some of the Song of Ice and Fire info in the chat, So there will be, again, Song of Ice and Fire tournament all weekend long at the secondary hotel for Adepticon. And yeah, that was, I mean, it doesn't matter to me one way or the other. It was just like, you gotta be kidding me. After 10 years, they're still just as horrible. They kind of tried to clean up a few things, but as far as the Tomb Kings themselves, it's like, well, yep, that's why you don't see them in battle reports anymore. You saw them in a flurry of battle reports, and when the initial release happened, and then yeah, you don't see them anymore. They went away just like they do on the tabletop. It was like, whoa, well, it's not the Lich Priest. Is it the Hierophant? Whatever it is that you got to kill to make them all crumble away. That's pretty much what they crumble fast. They crumble very, very fast. So yes, I was wondering if you have seen the same sort of thing, because oh my goodness. I mean, what could possibly go wrong when the army has no choice for charge reactions, moves slow, doesn't wound anything, has no armor? It's like, wow, okay. That might not go so well. Oh yeah, sure, Nerd Gamer. Nice to see you again, Nerd Gamer. Yeah, Legion of Grey, it's of course we did learn a lot about the bases, and thank you so much. Oh, Legion of Grey, I made a whole bunch of these. So I think I got 4 of these made, and well, Peg Knights and the Damsel, right? Peg Knights and the Damsel go on 60 by 40s, and then it is the Royal Pegasus. If you're doing him, he's a 50 by 50. So well, okay, hopefully we got that right. So everybody, please check out the Insta link there that Nerd Gamer Man just posted. So yeah, Mr. Clean. That's. I just I was wondering. I just have to wonder if Joe is. Well, hopefully he hasn't been tempted back into this, because he would be very very disappointed. So yeah, hopefully he has not hasn't had to see this happen to the beloved Tomb Kings. That look at. Talking dry brush, right? Looky here. Look at that. Hey, Hugh, how you doing? Yeah, Hugh, well, we did do... Well, now look at the difference between this and the old one that we did. Oh, we're almost there, almost there. No, that's not. There we go. So, yeah, look. And even that was with the converted horsies. Because they don't have that barding or anything like that. That was me sculpting all that stuff. So same metal Settra there, but yeah, that's a little different these days. Now, of course, did I just? Oh, here we go. So I have the February release should see the birdies, and those are up here. So we'll get the birdies. They do have an interesting casket of skulls, which you can sort of see there lit up on the bottom. Obviously, we already did the Colossus. I still have to get the one-page rules. Oh, not. Oh gosh, what is it? The Necrosphinx. Because we have the War Sphinx already. Hey, Deck Knight, nice to see ya. Nice to see you again there, Deck Knight. Hope that you're doing well. Of course, Mr. Clean, here's hoping that all the kitties are doing very well there. Hopefully Sammy is bouncing around like always. Yeah, let's see if we can sneak in a little bit more of our light there. Then I'm going to try and get me some... Well, here. No. Let's start going this way here. We're going to get some of this here yellow. There's an Indian yellow. Come on, get you together here. That's fantastic, Mr. Clean. Fantastic. You know what? That's fine. We'll do some glazy things over this. We'll do some glazy things on top of this here. We'll probably try and change some of this around a little bit too with some tinting and such. For now, we're just going to blast it like that. We're going to have that object source lighting there, so let's not do too much fooling around there. Fine, we'll hit this too. We hit this. It's so weird to be doing this in a standard color scheme. I'm kind of used to. I was just about to do it in my old Zinch tainted Tomb Kings. And I went, oops, no, we're not doing that. Fine, I'll go back to the full tome here. But that really changes that right quick, doesn't it? Hey, Paintwater Smalley, how you doing? Paintwater, if you want to share your links in chat, as always, please go ahead and do so. So, yep, Ryan, it's just a little Indian yellow, and there's a bit of the, I almost said a radiant yellow, but it is the Hansa yellow. So that's the fast matte color. This is one heck of a cattle prod he's got right here. No wonder these horses are still trying to run around here with getting boosted by this cattle prod. Denethor, actually, that's why I was a little bit. In some ways, I was glad because then you would get to actually hear a sound. I mean, you don't mind that sound, right? A little For Gondor. That's not so bad. Remember, we will be hitting this with some of our glazy stuff afterwards, but right now we're just again trying to get this sort of in place. Now, of course, I don't have the green flashlight because I actually had to use it as a flashlight. Yes, to try and see some cables underneath the desk here, so that's it's kind of gone now. All right, so that's just the radiant green, and for now the floral green. And just like we usually do with our source lighting, we're going to try and capture the essence of this as soon as possible. Get this established, and then from there. So, okay, what's the ambient light going to be like around this? What are the sort of grayish, warmer colors going to be like around this? Yeah, we should probably hit it this far too. Be a bit up there, and now let's make sure we get the chariot here. Let's do that. There's a little bit of a cheaty reason for doing this. Because as you can see, it would be hard to kind of get down in here because of this. This I can get to easier. Strategery. This is a wee bit of strategery going on right here. Because now, right, I just say, oh, this is just all green. Yeah, I don't have to worry about turquoises or gold or whatever the heck any down here. It's all green. So that was me being, again, a little bit of cheaty right there. Saying, oh, you know what? What the heck? It's, we'll just make it all green. It's all just going to be green there. Actually, this was the one part I couldn't figure out what the heck it was. And I was like, what is that last piece? And I had to really dig deep to find out where the heck that thing went, because there was no good pictures of him close up. And again, these horsies right here, so much better. These again are from Titan Forge, and they're just like all the horsies we've been doing so far, right? Now, yeah, Denethor, you would think it would certainly get some swift stride, right? It would certainly be deserving of that. Nice to see you again there, Zach. Happy Saturday to you. Well, happy Saturday/Sunday to everybody. Again, I guess people are going to have to start saying, okay, who do you think is going to make it to Super Bowl 53? Taylor Swift or the Ravens? Who's going to end up in the stands? I kind of think that result will be Much like a game of Warhammer Old World with the Tomb Kings, I believe that will be a foregone conclusion. I predict that there will be it'll be a Taylor Swift Super Bowl. That's really not what I was looking for, but I'm just gonna figure that's what will happen, because that's kind of how the NFL rolls. But oh wait, let's get some of that green in here too. Let's get. I think that the Swifties they sent an ultimatum to the NFL, and the NFL will most likely cater to that. Okay, get a little bit of that green over there too. Why not? You know, I'm gonna hit the main over here as well. Not on this side, right? Shadow side. This side is getting the light, and we can still go certainly lighter than this. Oh wait. We just gotta get a little bit more of that green over there. Where's our guy from yesterday? There he is. So remember, we had all the warm light here and all the cool light over there. Hey there, Flight Sim. Nice to see you again. Happy Sunday. Here, let me take my... Oh boy, the paper towels are way over there. One second. Let me just grab one of these. And we're just going to just get a bunch of the paint out of there. Flight Sim, sorry about that. It's going to make it very difficult. Gotta make it difficult to do painting stuff, that's for sure. So Zach, I hope that you're doing well. And of course, Paintwater, if you want to share again, share your links there in the chat, please go ahead and do so. Yeah, make it a little of the floral green in there. And this is nowhere near as light as we can get with this green, by the way. We can get lighter than this. But I'm going to establish this as much as possible, see where this is going. And then we'll build up everything around it, like we usually do with the source lighting. Oh, it's actually, it just says pigment green 50. That's it. Yeah, Flight Sim, sorry to hear about that. That is definitely going to make it... That will make things pretty difficult for sure. So yeah, sorry to hear about that. I wish that something like an anodyne machine could work for you on something like that. I'm not quite so sure that really would. Everybody please check out the link that Paintwater Sommelier just posted. Okay, please give Paintwater Sommelier a follow as well. Alright, fine. I'm going to get a little touch of some of our green there. So relieved that I don't have to deal with that. I am so glad now that I don't have to fool around with a lot of stuff. Now this side I don't mind, because I can get to this real easy. This side over here, that was going to be a bit of a right there. Now, Legion of Grey, I think you've heard us talk about the pigment numbers. They don't really mean all that much. Thank you so much, Sarge. Appreciate that. Thank you for the bits. Oh, geez, Mr. Clean, I gotta send you the pictures, because for the first time, I did one of the pork tenderloins in the air fryer. And I made a rub with honey mustard, honey, some garlic powder, and some lemon pepper. And that worked out really well. It was real fast. Yeah, so that's the first pork tenderloin that I made. In the past, I gave them to my sister, because she usually does pork tenderloins all the time herself. But yeah, I gotta send you pictures of that. Sorry, gee whiz, I knew there was, or maybe I did send it to Kimberly. I might have sent it already. But yeah, that was kind of fun doing that. There's the last little tiny bit of it. I tried to save that for actually after the stream here. Oh, okay. So sorry about that. I was like, wait a minute, I didn't send that. So as always, thanks, thank you so much for those, because that's very, very tasty. So Sarge, I hope that you're well. Speaking of backs and that sort of stuff, hopefully you're feeling a little less of the heebie-jeebies on that too, because I know it's been kind of no bueno. So again, we're just establishing this light more and more and more here. I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm going to say I don't think so. I don't think there's been a 3 national title UGA. Not even when Herschel Walker was around. Does that have enough of a... I might have to throw some more of my phthalo green out here. But we're just kind of mixing up a really deep sort of turquoise. And that's going to go on some of the... Oh, geez. I'm going to start doing something back here, too. Holy smokes. What are we doing there? That's a canine Nick Saban for sure, right, Horns fan? Although he didn't jump from Michigan State to LSU to Bama though. So he stuck. He was always UGA and just stayed there, between the hedges, right? He was a dog that lived his life between the hedges. Now, those are little scarabs over there. So I don't care. I'm gonna hit them with the turquoise over here too. We'll just blast them guys as well. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna need to get ourselves some more phthalo green out here. And here's where the oils come in, right? I can't even see what's going on there. This is about all I need to do is just let the oils get down in there and do their thing. That's it. That is all we need to do. Remember that this is going to be cast shadow stuff in here, so we don't necessarily want a whole bunch of light on the underside of this now, do we? No, we do not. And now we're getting even more thinner in here as we just want to do this. A little bit of pinline washy type goodness right there. You know what? I won't do that. Oh, look at this. I know the question was, do we do, glazy stuff with the oil? Well, we can. Oh, like that. See that there? Look at that. Look at that. I'll do that here. As we get closer, though, to this, we're gonna get more towards the phthalo green, a little less of the turquoise there. So Automaton, I hope that you're doing well. Again, happy Saturday/Sunday to folks. It's still an hour and 40 minutes of a happy Saturday here. Then it transfers into Championship Sunday. Sadly, there's your college football report. UGA is no longer with us. So we even see the transfer portal is kind of nothing's popping out of that. We can still offer you the college football report. On this channel, we search everything to bring you the college football report. Now let's again get some more of that phthalo green out here. This is just again the fast mat stuff over here. There you go. Where's your phthalo green? Grab this again, and you're going to be seeing now for a little while more of this glazy type stuff. It's like how we've been doing all the other horses and the chariots, and even our Ushapti. Same deal there. Heck, that was the same deal on the Colossus as well. Alright, fine. A little more Prussian blue there. Fine. Boom, and away we go here. Yeah, fine. I'll throw a little more thinner on that. Now the saddle stuff on the other side here, that's going to be a little more of a challenge, but No big deal. We'll deal with it here. This side, fine. I'll just let all the grain hit it. Whatever, I don't care. The oils are plenty opaque enough to get right over the top of that. Maybe a little more of that Prussian blue. Maybe even a little bit more. Find some of that down in here. Now it gets a little more difficult, but can you really even see in there? Heck no. Hey there, Moonlight Minis. How you doing? Everybody, please give Moonlight Minis a follow. Moonlight Minis, of course, if you want to share any of your Etsy links there or your My Mini Factory links, please go ahead and do so. There we go. Moonlight Minis again. I think you saw the painting that we were doing, right? And again, this is the color that arrived. Well, maybe it didn't, but in case I think you did. My brain is just a little sketchy these days, but that was with the cobalt teal bluish and the indanthrine blue. So those are the two colors that I really wanted to. Here's the indanthrine. So these are the colors that I really wanted to focus on for some of your figures there. Hey there, Panda. How you doing? So, like Horns Fan says, that was the mascot for the Georgia Bulldogs. And I believe so far there have been 11 UGAs. And obviously UGA is University of Georgia. And he's the mascot that's on the sideline. Of course, now Horns Fan, wasn't it this UGA that somehow managed to survive a confrontation with the Horns mascot? I believe I've seen that little bit of video on Instagram. Have I not? I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Whoops! Wait a minute. Okay, here let's stay over here with the phthalo green. I can go even more with the center there. Blammo! Here we go. Yeah, Horns Fan. I don't know if there was like a series of life events that they showed for UGA there, but I'm pretty sure, and I think it was maybe years ago, but I do believe there was a sideline confrontation between UGA and the Horns mascot there. Okay, yeah. Again, we have to be. Like this. Touch it there. Nothing else. Touch it there. That's it. None of this brushing like that. All that's going to do is smear stuff all over the place. So everybody please check out moonlightminis.com. We have painted a number of Moonlight Minis on the stream here. You can actually go back and catch some of those because we save everything as a highlight here. It's sort of like a YouTube channel. Wee bit like a YouTube channel. Now you can see what's starting to happen here. You can see how it kind of tones this, and the source lighting gets that much brighter. Alright, without having to do anything here. Oh, that's right, because, well, so UGA and Bevo are part of the same conference. I totally forgot about that, Horns Fan. I completely forgot. I guess there's going to be more. Well, there might be an UGA 13 real quick then, right? we might go from 12 to 13 a little bit more fast. Maybe it won't be 10 years for the next UGA then if that happens again. Again, to the same thing, same deal here. We're just going to take a little bit of this here thinner. We're going to go dink, dink, dunk, and that's it. Throw me a little more over there, and then let's start getting some down here. There we are. Yeah, okay, we'll let a little bit of that get onto the yolk there. Hey, Cinder, how you doing? So Moonlight Minis, those two colors are very, very intense, intense colors. They're going to be super slow drying, though. That's, I think there's no doubt about that. Well, anything that says cobalt, that right there, that's not a speed drying color. It says cobalt and titanium. We know what's going to happen with that. But the Indanthrone blue is also a slow dryer because I've already used it. And I've gone, whew, okay. Yeah, that does not dry quickly. I just, yes, Horns fan, something might be popping up into my Instagram feed like, well, short tenure for the latest UGA. Shortest tenure from the winningest UGA to the shortest lived UGA. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do the same over here. Let me get more of the phthalo green because I want this to be a little bit on the warmer side. There we are. So it just kind of gets down into those shadow areas just a bit more. All right. We continue. Q and Company, how you doing? Great to see you back. I hope that your Saturday was a very good one. Now the Indanthrone or Danthrone is relatively expensive now. The Richardson version was cheaper. I think that was a Series 3. Well, of course, you could get the 105 millimeter tube, no, 150 milliliter tube for $99 on on the super sale at Dick Blick. But even in Williams, or even in Gamblin and Windsor Newton, that was not a cheap color. This one is a Series 7, so that's pretty much end of days for your wallet. The only reason I have this, again, is the super sale. So this Series 7 is actually more like a Series 4.5 or 5 to me. So yeah, otherwise, and same thing with the Perline Crimson, because that's a Series 6. Yeah, technically these would be the most expensive colors that I have, but because of the super sale, well, this one definitely not. This was actually less than Egyptian Violet. That was still more than Egyptian Violet, even with the sale. Now, Q and Company, if you wanted to share your Etsy there so that folks can know where they could get things printed out, that'd be very cool. So yeah, Moonlight Minis, those are colors that, well, Doji's been badgering me to get the cobalt teal bluish for how long? Grand Oracle? Quite some time. It was just one of those things where, okay, this was like a major, like mega sale that they had. I said, well, it's now or never. So I said, let's pull the trigger on this. Okay, so there we go. Now we've built up our darker greens here. Now we're going to do some of the other darker stuff. I'm going to go on to this guy here. Same thing. Oh, that's what we got. Speaking of our, why the heck did you just disappear? Oh, okay, you're on this shelf here. We have been playing around with this as a gold non-metallic type of thing. I wanted to see what this, because we wanted to see, well, we won't really know what the staining value is here, but we are going to get a chance to see this in some glazy fashion here. We didn't really get to see that in our video. Oh, that's fantastic, Q and Company. Now, let's see what we got here. Start breaking that down. That is a fantastic amber color that we're starting to get here. Look at that. Of course, we always like the Egyptian Violet Indian Yellow combo. That's very nice too. And of course, the perline red, I'm just going to figure that is also a slow drying color. Yeah. Yes, a very slow drying color indeed. Your most powerful colors tend to be that way. Although Moonlight Minis, we did notice that for whatever reason, that cobalt teal bluish, I almost am tempted sometimes to call it cobalt, or either, yeah, let's see, cobalt terra instead of cobalt teal, because it kind of acted like our Terra Rosa. It was very surprising, that's for sure. Yeah. Let's just hit this with the gold out here too. Again, we're starting to tone this down, right? We've here we're gonna bounce over to our. I wonder if that could also be some cobalt back there. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We don't have to decide right now. Of course. Well, we still have to get some of our initial dry brushy stuff on that too, but what the heck. So that is a Williamsburg. In general, unless it's a maybe a, I don't think Shiva does it. I know Richardson does it. If you see the paint on the label itself, that's going to be a Williamsburg. I wish every single paint color did that. It would make life a whole lot easier if they did. That would be much, much better. So yeah, that is a Williamsburg color. And that's also going to be why it has the hefty price tag on it, because, well, Williamsburg. That's life in the Williamsburg world. Legion of Grey, that's a great idea, right? Because it goes well beyond what does the color look like? What color is it, right? It goes to the, well, is it opaque? Is it matte? There's a lot of other things that reveals besides just, oh, what does it look like? So again, only Williamsburg and Richardson, maybe Shiva. Those, you might have those three. Nobody else does that. Again, I wish they all did. It would certainly make life a whole lot easier. And I can't see, but this is getting all toned down now with some of the gold stuff here, so it's not quite so bright anymore. And then we'll be coming back in, right, with our lighter colors. So think of it almost like a bit of a pre-glaze there. So Denethor says that Old Holland also does the paint on the tube. Now again, Richardson here. Whoops, that's not Richardson. Here it is. So that is the actual paint on the tube right there. All right. Now that's a hilarious bit of the, a little bit of the, wow. How did that phthalo blue get over there? All right, well, no big deal. We will just roll with that. I'm going to get me a little bit more of the thinner out here, and then let's get into some of our darker stuff on the horses. I'm just going to get rid of the yellow stuff. Let's get some of the horse color on. So indigo and some of our violet. So indigo violet here. There's a couple of real intense colors. So what it's really tells you again is the opacity. Now, of course, we have some of the really offending ones here. Here's where's our Terra? There we go. Yeah. So, because again, pigment numbers, don't trust them. Even these, I don't trust them because these are both rated as semi-opaque. One is pretty darn opaque. The other one is not at all. Yet they're both rated the same. That's why this is called Italian Terror Verte. So that is why the paint on the label is very valuable. That is grainy, that is not opaque. That is very matte and pretty darn opaque by comparison. Hey there, Blades, how you doing? Nice to see you there, Blades. Sorry I didn't get a chance to really shoot you any more messages besides some of the that was oh yeah, that was Bitey and such, kind of getting up to mischief there. Think of it as like pictures of Cooper getting up to his mischief. You know what? I'm actually gonna go. Well, no, here we'll do this. Then we're gonna go to the next down in line brush for doing some of this lazy stuff here. Somebody please give Blades81 a follow. So hopefully your Saturday was a good one there, Blades. And again, I'm just gonna nuke in some more of this. Got just some of our horsey color right there. I'm glad they're Blades. Yeah, we can. Oh, yeah, I can do some of this stuff down here as well on the hooves. Again, this is really important because we can't reach a whole lot of areas, which not necessarily the worst thing in the world, right? Because there should be a whole lot of shadows. Lots of shadows. Because not only do we have just a regular light, we also have this light being cast right here. I'm glad it was a great day for you there, Blades. And of course, Blades, if you want to share anything that you've been doing in the chat, please go ahead and do so. Let's move over here. So we've done 3 of these horses. Yeah, we've done 3 of these horses so far. Yeah, thanks, Blades. It's been really it's interesting to have Settra again, but with a whole different color theme than the original one that I painted 10 years ago. And like I said, we're going to be coming back with lights on our horses here. Don't worry, don't fret about that. Wow, that pin line white, it travels. It will travel. That's how you know it's a pin line wash versus something that's maybe close. I mean, I just got into a whole bunch of other areas I didn't even have to try. Oh yeah, definitely go ahead and do that, Blades, and then again share some links with folks. Oh, the tails, yeah, let's not forget the tail. Well, it's gonna be interesting on the tails because obviously we've got that source lighting that's happening over there. Nice to see you again there, George Dredd. So that is the cobalt teal bluish. I'm sure that all the different cobalts are probably all Series 7s. So you can't quite just go by series number as far as like, do we have the right one? But that is, yeah, cobalt teal bluish. And again, it was really fantastic on the painting that we did the other night. I think that, oh, those are Thursday stream. Yeah, Flat Thursdays. Yeah, Flat Thursdays are back. Well, yeah, especially now that I got the AI stuff going. I will be trying to film a video where we take a whole bunch of different AI references and then try to kind of mash all those together to create one painting. So roughly mid-February, so that's the winter sale that's happening right now on Dick Blick. However, local stores are matching Dick Blick's winter sale till February 12th. So again, for folks that are interested, I think if you've got colors of your dreams, or if you just want to, you want to get into it, and you say, boy, I really would like to get indigo, terra rosa, Van Dyke brown all at once. Well, maybe that would help facilitate that. Borat, I do sell those. They, just like with the ornaments, their first priority is usually as gifts for folks. So there are not usually too many of them around, unfortunately. But have definitely sold those in the past. I think actually, well, I know I sold 3 or 4 of them at Adepticon the last time I actually got a chance to be there. So again, there will be some miniatures and maybe even some of these things, some of the paintings at Adepticon, that if folks said, hey, is that one available? And if it is, I just thought it'd be a whole lot easier doing it that way. There would already be some packing materials on me already, just from bringing miniatures there. So I'm glad that worked out, Judge Dredd. Now, Judge Dredd, if you wanted to share that in the chat, please go ahead. But it's definitely not like the Terror colors, is it, Judge Dredd? A little different, right? Well, speaking of a little different, wow, look at all that extra dark that's in here now. That starts to make this shine even more. So everybody, please check out the Insta link there that Judge Dredd posted. Also, please give Judge Dredd kudos for some very spectacular work, of course. That's the Van Dyke brown. And we're going to do a little bit more here. This might even double down a bit more on some parts of our chariot there. Also here in a few spots. Whereas again, Van Dyke brown, we're going to just let that get broken down here, a little more thinner. Consider this almost just like a pre-glaze here. I never did even get any of the lighter dry brushy stuff in there. The heck with it, it's like I'm doing a pre-glaze over it. Now here I might do some, no, you know what, we're going to go this way. We're going to go a little warmer with that. I'm just going to actually let the Van Dyke brown get there because it's right by this stuff, so it's going to more reflect that. Yep, Moonlight Minis, that's all it is that's just a little bit of that, of the high quality odorless thinner. And as you can see, all we can do is just touch it and let it go where it's going to go. There is no, it's not like a watercolor or something like that, or acrylic where you're going to gently guide it around. It's like, nope. You do this, dink, and it goes wherever the heck it wants to from there. And it will defy gravity. It will actually go up and over the top onto the other side. Any water-based product has a less than 0% chance of doing that. So that's the whole reason why we use the oil paints, is because of genuine capillary action. So again, Judge Dredd, I'm glad that worked out. I know that was not the most pleasant thing to have happen, right? Darken you down here, more thinner. And the amount of the thinner it takes to turn a color into a pinline wash will depend on the color. If you had 100 different colors, you could have 100 different amounts of thinner to turn that into a pinline wash. That's just kind of how it goes. With the oils, there's no set formulas or set this or set that. It's all very much, well, it's going to depend on what you're working with. in that area. It's going to depend on the figure itself. There will be variables. It's well, it's kind of like 3D printing. Yeah, I was just thinking about that earlier today. Yes, oil painting is a lot like 3D printing. So again, that darker stuff that we put there, well, that really sets that apart. All right, now, oh, no, we got the stuff on the base here that we want to do. Let's get around some of this stuff as well. So Judge Dredd, it's not really, it's just a winter sale. It's just when you're getting your paints, you'll notice, again, like that Series 7, that was more like a Series 5 in price, ultimately, when I went to check out. And this is what you'll find, again, it's more, because I didn't necessarily even say, I said, well, I don't know if this is really I actually even didn't buy stuff. I didn't even check out, or I didn't even get to the checkout, because these prices don't look any cheaper, and then that's where the prices kicked in. It's kind of a little bit of a stealthy winter sale. Again, it's not like a Black Friday type sale where there's fireworks and all other kind of stuff going on. It's just a kind of almost like a hidden sale, which I'm not sure how effective hidden sales are, at least as far as bringing in folks, but their stuff, their choice. And look where I'm holding this again. Now, caress the brush. Don't crush the brush. And look at that. We're just touching the brush to it. That's all we're doing. And as you can see, as we start working our way through this, the areas that we hit longer ago, those do not have so much of the glossiness to them anymore. That the paint's not dry, but it has set. Also, too, remember with the oils, less is more. More is always way too much. In all likelihood, the vast majority of this thing will be dry by this time tomorrow. Why? Because we're not putting down a whole chunk of paint. We're not just slopping all kinds of paint on here. Less is more. More is way too much. And by way too much, I mean, if you say, man, I got practically no paint on that brush, take a little more off of that brush. You'll be glad that you did. You can always put more on. Once again, a little bit of a glazy type of a thing happening here, just touching the brush to it. And all this darkens down as we do that. Now what I might just do is, I think I could. I think I can. I'm going to, oh, where's one of our horsies here. So again, you can see how the orange light changed. Now let's start to get to some of the lighter bandage things there. I just want to let that set a little bit more. So Pantheranos, it's anything with heavy metals in it. So anything cobalt, cerulean, cadmium, those are just going to take forever to dry because, again, heavy metals. If it says titanium, also a metal, will take a long time to dry. They're generally reds, violets, those take a long time to dry. They will depend on the intensity of the pigment. Now sometimes you have things like brown matter, which is, this is one of the fastest drying colors that I have. And it's just because it's plant-based. That is made from plant. It also depends on the company. Whoops, wrong one here. So Richardson, one of the reasons you don't see too many of theirs is they have a tendency to chunk a lot of safflower and linseed oil in their paints. The more of that, the longer it takes to dry. So it could be brown matter in Richardson is going to take longer to dry than brown matter of Winsor Newton. Why? Because these guys are going to be chucking more, again, linseed and safflower oil in there. That's something that the miniature companies will do if they for whatever reason do have oil paints. They just put all kinds of safflower oil in there because they want it to feel more like miniature paint instead of like oil paint. It's like, if you're going to use miniature paint, that's great. Use miniature paint. If you want to use oils, that's great. Use oil paints. And that means, again, I'm not a fan of having extra safflower oil and all that kind of stuff chucked into the paint. Now that's got a little bit of the fluoro green in it too. Alright, now let's start to work in some lighter stuff here. Let's do that. So yeah, Paternos Salo colors can also take longer to dry. Just again, by their nature, they also have a tendency to be on the shinier side as they cure. It's just a thing. It's just something that happens with them. Again, here is no special color that we mixed here, because this is all mixing on here. Hashtag no layers, no base coats, none of that stuff. As you can see, that is dramatically lighter than what was there. If you want to do the gradual little bit of layering up, this, that, and the other, well, that works great with the acrylics. That's what you do with them. That really does kind of kill all the advantages of the oil paint there. So Denethor, now are you using the? I know that you had the Winsor Newton, I think, originally, and then you got the Williamsburg Van Dyke Brown, right? Oh no, burnt umber. Sorry. You could just add a little bit of linseed oil. I'm sure you already have linseed oil, right, Denethor, for mixing up your own paint there. No Judge Dredd. It's just a little bit of the fast matte white. That's all. And it's mixing with everything that's already here. So if you see it turning a different color, it's all it is just picking up the color that's already on here. So that's why we're kind of saying what we were doing was a little bit like a pre-glaze. So see how that is darker than that one? That's because there was a little bit more. And see, that's actually got a little bit of some of the violet in it there. So again, with each one, you can see how the end of that is also getting darker there too. Let me see something here. So down there's Old Holland and Schminky. Okay, yeah, obviously don't have either one of those. Because I don't think the Williamsburg burnt umber dries in any way that's super rapid or anything like that. I don't think I have any Schminky color. I might have one. And I think it's from the Norma line. There's Norma Messina? And is there one other line, Denethor? Oh, here we go. Wait a minute. Let's do something like this. Now, was the swim meet today, Grand Oracle? That's not tomorrow, or is it tomorrow? I keep getting mixed up which days are scout events and which days are swim meets. So it's the Academy. Okay. So Hornsfan, it's various dead paint containers. Now this is actually that would be one of the crushed glass containers there. So a little bit of a counterweight. But typically all I just use is dead paint jars like these. That's it. And well, you can see this is so Moonlight Minis. Remember this? That's Reaper paint right there. And it wasn't necessarily a bazillion years ago that Reaper paint came this way instead of those stupid dropper bottles. So that's how Reaper paint used to be.
So say we all.
Thank you so much, JP. Appreciate that. Let me see. So you got this there, Grand Oracle. Now, Grand Oracle, was that one also? Was the other one also a 15 mil? Because I didn't think that Michael Graham paints were all 15 mil. Now, of course, what is it? Holbein, their paints are that smaller container as well, which was really confusing because when this arrived, oh geez, I don't even know if I can find it in here. I thought I had gotten a watercolor paint from them. Yeah, I can't find it. Oh, wait a minute. Is this one here? No, that is not Schminky there. Thank you so much, Moonlight Minis. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. So, JP, if you want to share anything that you've been doing in the chat, please go ahead and do so, like always. Thanks, Horns fan. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. So you can see the difference that this has made already. All right, and look at this. We can even start to add a little bit of this over here now. So thanks, Horns fan. Appreciate that, of course. Now, the reason why we're hitting this out here, because that's not going to be doing any shadows or anything like that, right? Same over here, maybe. We can start to do a little bit of these skelly friends, like so. I'm going to get a little bit of thinner in here. So again, that is basically just the fast matte white, and we're just going to let it blend with what's here. That's all we're doing. Oh, and by the way, this is 1 hour and 20 minutes. 1 hour, 20 minutes ago, this had just primer and nothing else. That, once again, is a testament to the oils, yes? Hey, Elite, how you doing? So, yeah, it's really hoping for some good games. Now, of course, R.I.P. wide right. I mean, we still feel very bad for Buffalo fans. Those are not exactly their favorite words to hear, that's for sure. That is going to plague them for some time to come. So, Panthernos, and like Moonlight Minis was mentioning, the old oil brushers and stuff, and that was so yeah. Moonlight Minis back in those days, the pre-glaze was nothing more than raw umber, and it was just raw umber, the Winsor Newton student grade raw umber. It wouldn't have mattered what this was. The whole thing would have just been raw umber. Wipe it away with some makeup sponges, and that's it. And think of how different, how much it's changed since then. It's almost unrecognizable. Just again, like some of the other aspects of the oils, it's changed so much, the stuff, and we are constantly learning new things all the time. Especially right since you've got those different things like the Schminky colors, and people they're very kind to give us their knowledge of those colors because we can't have every single color here. So appreciate that, Denethor, filling me in on the Schminky line there. So thank you so much, Grand Oracle. Appreciate that. What does that mean? I do believe we have another type of chariot right here. That would be an iron chariot. He says, oh, I'm out. I'm out. Out with the old, in with the new. That would be one of these coming right at you. There it is. All aboard. All aboard that hype train. Thank you so much, Grand Oracle. Appreciate that. Hype train. Hype train. There it is. Well, it's coming right for you now. Look out, look out, look out. Oh, there it goes. Hype train. There it is. Oh, speaking of which, Grand Oracle, I don't know if I forgot to send you pictures. I printed out a gas station for my brother's, well, Wappelville train station, right? But it's from Dark Realms, the same folks doing all the Middle Earth stuff. Well, they actually have locomotives. They have obviously not one like this that actually works, but I was going to print him up some of those so that he could maybe have a little bit of a rail yard and not have to use the running stock for that. But then, remember how I was asking about the Junkers transport plane, and it was the Junkers 5.2. Well, the only Junkers I could find as far as a 3D printable STL file was a crashed one, which actually would be pretty darn good for bolt action. It would be absolutely perfect. But the company, obviously, they do a whole bunch of other Second World War era type stuff, but they also had a train, an engine turnaround. And I was just telling my brother, it's like, oh yeah, see, we could, if we had a bunch of printed engines, we could do a turnaround. And sure enough, they have a 3D printable turnaround. So hello there. Oh, and happy birthday. Was that 2 days ago, Moonlight Minis? I think that birthday was a couple of days ago. So happy birthday. I actually get to say that now in person. I know it's a little belated, but happy birthday. So thanks so much, Grand Oracle. And of course, thank you so much, Moonlight Minis. Thanks, Hornsfan, all the folks that made the hype train happen. Thank you so much. So everybody say happy birthday to Kyle there in the chat. Alright, yeah, just gonna do a little bit, quick little glazy thing there. Actually, you know what? There's some wrapping there. I'm gonna start thinking about getting some of my light there as well. Okay, so a few days ago, I'm glad at least I didn't. I always try to see, you know, whose birthday it is and such. You know what? No, I'm just going to try and get some stuff. Nothing specific right now. Just a little something over there just to have a little something. That's it. Just a little something over there. I have to figure out what we're really going to do on these saddles. I think we're just going to keep those a bit darker. That makes a little more sense. And you can see how we've kind of toned down some of this, right? The light is more focused here. But guess what? Guess what? We can go lighter than that. Uh-oh. So Grand Oracle is just over a week away. So in February, it's going to be a happy birthday for Grand Oracle. We'll have to have a special birthday hype train for Grand Oracle. A very special birthday hype train. So Grand Oracle, hopefully, well, like I say, one more year closer to the retirement, and hopefully we'll be able to really enjoy that. Again, for all the folks that have birthdays coming up, always let us know here on the channel, then we can celebrate that birthday in style. Oh wait, see, we can literally make that even more intense. So blades, we established this just like the fiery stuff we did on the base of our horsey here. Right, we established that immediately. We did the same thing on this. It's all about, again, establishing that object source lighting as soon as possible. And we're going to get back to it over here. See that even on our horsey there. A little bit of that over here as well. Ooh, yeah, let's get some more there. And we didn't, nothing special, right? We have this color here, and we're letting it mix. Remember all of the turquoise and the greens and everything else that we did? Hey there, Queez, how you doing? Thank you so much, Queez. So Queez, well, with the weekend coming up, are you going to be able to do a meta crushing game of 40k there? Thank you so much, Queez. Appreciate that. So hopefully everybody there is doing well. And well, no, I'm not going to say it because I'll jinx it. I was going to say something about people of a youthful nature and exotic diseases that they tend to pass around very rapidly. I'm going to leave it there, and you know why I'm going to leave it there. Because anything else is a jinx, so I'm not going to do that. Not going to do anything with that at all. That'd be fantastic, Queeze. Now, Queeze, is it still Smurf? Is it still all Smurf, or has it gone back to, has it shifted back to Nurgle yet? Because I know lately it's been more Smurfage, right? Yeah, let me get, there we go. There's some of our light there. It's also going to hit this piece here. And now you know why I wanted the object source lighting here, right? Because getting down in there to do anything was a little bit of a difficulty. However, I don't have to do that much because remember the oils kind of let you do that blind blending. So it's still Smurfdom. It is all Smurfdom there. Well, Queeze, I'm just I'm glad that you've been able to kind of keep up with that. I know there was some interruption between, well, some getting nuked by certain things that maybe the kids were passing around, because that's what kids do. All humans under a certain age are basically biological weapons with feet. I'm going to get the light edge on the weapon here. Like so. And I'm fairly certain all people with kids, especially of a certain age, they would all say, yeah, that's 100% correct. That ain't wrong. What is on here? No. I'm going to grab me another. Not that one either. Let's try maybe something like this one as a micro blending brush here. Get this rotated. Okay, looks like you can see that, and there we go. This is another reason why we do not need tons and tons of layers of paint, right? Because we put a color on there, we grab another brush, and we just push that around. So thank you so much, Armored Wolf, for posting a link to the GoFundMe. We had a contribution to that today, so again, we appreciate all of the folks that continue to make contributions to that. That is extremely helpful because there's still a whole bunch of unresolved things here. So that really does, that really helps things along, because even with unresolved stuff, that's the only reason why we're still printing and everything else, is because folks have been very generous and such. Yeah, Queeze, that should be a part-time job, right? The adult thing, that's supposed to be a part-time job. That's not supposed to be a full-time 24-hour-a-day thing. Okay. Look at this here. That's where my hand is on the brush. I gotta sneak it in here. And I gotta do this yet. Look at that. See how that's all blended right there? That's not going to happen with the acrylics. I mean, again, it's not what they do. It's not a good or bad thing. It's just, well, they don't let you do stuff like that. And you just become very much aware of that. So again, for all the folks that again have continued to make contributions to the GoFundMe, we always want to say thank you all the time, because that doesn't matter what degree that is, it always is extremely helpful. Something okay, now taking advantage of the winter sale. right? And that allows us to then try and get new colors in here, colors that people are wanting to see. And this is when the armored wolf had told me about, and this is our next video. We will be using this basically puro orange to see what is possible with that. Again, that's without the contributions. There's no way I could even experiment with colors like that. And the more experimentation we do, even if it's a failed experiment, that still means we learned something. And I know that people, they really don't like that idea of, well, yeah, if I try something and it fails, that was fine because we learned something. I know people don't really like to have the whole failure metric there. But sometimes the failure metric shows you more than success. Because, well, there's really not a whole lot of self-analysis after success. That there tends to be more of, okay, why did that blow up in my face? Why did that go boom? There's not a lot of, hey, that worked fantastic. Wow, why did that work so fantastic? Oh, thanks, Blades. Thank you so much. Well, Queezda, that's fantastic. Well, say hello for me. Say hello, and of course, well, I said thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. As always, appreciate that. So thanks, Blades, and of course, I always show Kathy's family anytime I make some fromages or anything like that. I always show them pictures of that. Ooh, Blades. I want to. I'm actually going to try and utilize your maple syrup with the slow cooker somehow. I want to actually try to do some bacon in the slow cooker with some of your maple syrup. Yes, I'm going to try and do that. Thank you so much, Crispy Bangs. How you doing? Great to see you back, and thank you so much for the raid. Of course, I see those donuts there. At first, I was thinking Cheerios. I was actually thinking Cheerios when I saw those. But Blades, yeah, there's after that. I think you heard me talking about that the pork tenderloin with the rub of what was that? Of the honey and the honey mustard. Now I'm starting to think I've got to utilize some of that maple syrup in the slow cooker because it's not just for waffles and for toast and, well, of course, especially not rum waffles, right, Blades? Especially not rum waffles. All right, so you can see how we've really enhanced some of our lighting here. So Crispy Bangs, we are continuing with the Tomb Kings here. Now, last night, where'd you go? There you are. So we painted one lone horsey. Now we got 4 horsies. That's actually an old GW Chariot right there. That's an old GW. That's all metal. There's a whole bunch of pieces of metal. And then we've got 4 3D printed horses. And then this is more of our bases that we make here. Actually, we have one. So it's sort of a gigantic version of this. And yeah, it's also sitting on some plastic card there. Blades. Now, are you thinking cheddar? What fromage are we looking at? Is it cheddar? Is it a white cheddar? Or is it something more like an Asiago? Like something almost a bit more salty to complement the sweetness of, say, the maple syrup? So I'm just wondering, do you think that could be something that's interesting? Obviously, well, it depends what the store's going to have too, but I shall look for some fromage at the store in addition to, I'll probably get some taters as well. Yeah, I think we'll have to get some of that. Now here, this is making me extra glad that we have this light source right here. Let me tell you. Again, we're going to do this. Where's our blending brush? There you are. So Crispy Bangs, I hope that you're doing very well. Thanks. Great to see you again. Oh, Crispy Bangs. I don't know if you saw We actually got a chance to do some 2D art here. This was our Thursday stream, which, well, we basically Flat Thursdays is what we call it there. Blades, well, as a fellow aficionado of cheddar, to me, cheddar just it complements just about everything. So I would not be averse to having some cheddar in that at all. This is a cuisine channel. I guess can we add Tomb Kings? Well, it always kind of was a Tomb Kings channel. Of course, Lord of the Rings. It's a cavalry channel. It's an object source. Well, we're getting two things here. It is a chariot channel. We do love our chariots here. We've only painted about 11 of the Candace chariots on stream. Oh, and don't think there won't be more, because there will be, because I haven't painted any of the Kurzlook chariots yet. Now, remember that the glazy stuff we did over here? Check this out. Oh, hey, Queez, are all of your Smurfs painted now? I know that you were really, really hoofing it there to try and get a bunch of that stuff game ready. So I wasn't sure if you've kind of been adding stuff onto that and there was more to paint. And of course, actually, if you want to share any in the chat there of the Smurfs, please go ahead and do so. I mean, hey, look, if they weren't Smurfs, they wouldn't give their Terminators white power fists, would they? Hey, Night Whisperer, great to see you again. Everybody please give Night Whisperer a follow. Great to see you again there, Night Whisperer. Happy Saturday. Well, still not a happy Saturday here yet. Boy, Queez, I don't know if you were heard earlier in the stream, talk about meta busting and stuff like that. Yeah, the Tomb Kings, they're just as unplayable now as they were in 2014. They had 10 years and a whole new system to try and make them just playable. Again, they don't have to be, soul crushing. That would be nice, especially being undead Tomb Kings, but just playable would have been nice, but they didn't quite manage to do that, sadly. So we're still back to where they were 10 years ago. Hey, Cheese Whiz, great to see you back. Cheese Whiz, you want to share some links there in the chat? You go on ahead. So Cheese Whiz, again, more of the darker primer stuff, right? I mean, you can pretty much see some of it around there. But then everything we did with the dry brush and then all those glazy things basically acted very much like a pre-glaze. And now we're kind of into that lighter mid-tone type stuff that we typically would be at this time. It's a Sunday, already Sunday for Night Whisper there. So Night Whisper, you want to share anything in the chat? Please go ahead. Please go ahead. And again, everybody, please give Night Whisper a follow. So Queez, yeah, well, you can tell because when you go onto YouTube and you see battle reports, you'll still see Bretonians. You will not see Tomb Kings anymore. And it was very painful to watch because you could tell that by the second turn, both players said, oof, this ain't going to end so well. And they would try to maybe push it to a turn 4, maybe even a turn 5. But eventually they just said, okay, well, there's really no point in continuing. Let's just move on. And that was how all of the battle reports went. And that was with the Tomb King player rolling phenomenally well and the other player rolling tragically bad. So remember that one game, well, the two games, right, where you played you had your guys and you had the really good rolls and they had those tragic rolls, and then it kind of sort of reversed. Imagine, the player having the tragic rolls stomping the guy that was rolling really well. And that's pretty much it. Now look at this. My hand is virtually not on the brush anymore. Look at this. It's the only way I can get to this. I'm pretty much using the entire length of the brush. And of course, given that this is oil paints, see how that's all just kind of mixing? Look at that. Looky there, it's all just mixing. Yeah, look at that. So Cheese Whiz, great to see you back. Oh, you know what? We need to get a little thinner in this. Not too much, though. We put too much thinner in this. Remember all the pin line wash stuff we were doing here? Yeah, we don't want none of that anymore. Ah, that'd be fantastic, Cheese Whiz. Now here again, so I can set my hand on there. Look at that. And see, not too much paint comes off. Why? Because we have very little paint on there. What did we do? We did a little bit of a dry brush. Then we did our pin line wash on top of it and nothing else. That's why we can stick our hand on the horsey's head here for a little bit of balance. And then again, utilize that for a little bit of stabilizing force here for our hand. Hey there, Valfera, how you doing? Valfera, I think again, I'm so tempted, Valfera, just to like order you some Amazon mustard packets. Actually, Valfera, there. Don't laugh, but I was wondering, do I take all that that honey Dijon mustard that I got, and just literally put that in a Ziploc bag to make it safer to use? I don't think you're going to laugh at that. I do not think you're going to laugh at that proposition. Because I almost had that thing fly out of my hand when I was shaking it. And I give you a 100% guarantee that at some point in the future I go to use it, that will happen. So Cheese Whiz, we don't really use anything terribly fancy. There's the filbert brushes, and then there's the 18-0. We will be using this shortly. Again, this is the short liner brush. Again, that's from Princeton, the Velvet Touch. That's also the source of some of our liner brushes too. Now, Megan had got me some of these. These are from Royal Langnickel. That's another good source of kind of the cheaper craft brushy type stuff. Now, the other thing that I did want to show you, well, of course, just our regular craft brushes like this, where you can get, what is it, a dozen of them for, well, now $6. And again, the filbert brushes. The filbert brush. Oh, here's a Princeton filbert brush right there. This is what we do all of our dry brushy stuff here, is with the filbert brushes. Now, you can make your own. You could get a flat brush and then literally trim the edges off. I've actually done that in some videos. Okay, good. I'm going to be able to set my hand there. We are going to try and get a little bit of our light along there. A little bit of our light there too, and this way. More of our light right here. Again, I'm just going to set my hand on that because don't really care. We haven't really done anything much with that, so I'm not all worried about it, that's for sure. I mean, those things are just, they're lethal, right, Valfera? They are definitely dangerous. Okay, a couple more lights there, a little bit more light right there. Might even carry that all the way back here. So again, you can see how that really focuses that source of light. As I do that, I say, okay, you know, we really need to maybe get even more of that light over here. I mean, this is right at the ground zero of the light source there. So yeah, Cheese Whiz, the typical tube size here is the 37 mil. Now, of course, if you get the starter set from Williamsburg, you'll get the smaller size tubes there, but But for you, you're not gonna blast through that, say, the way we would here. So even if it is a smaller size tube, but definitely not the worst thing in the world, and that'll be fine. I think we have one of them here, don't we? Somewheres, one of those small. There we go. So again, the Williamsburg starter sets, smaller tubes. The one difference is that this is the actual artist color, whereas the Winston, the Windsor Newton, and the Gamlin starter sets, those are just student grade colors in there. So there, there is going to be a difference in those. Again, from the Williamsburg stuff, that's why those starter sets are more costly, because those are actual artist oils in there and not the student grades. I mean, Williamsburg stuff is more pricey anyway. It doesn't matter what the size tube is, or if it's in a set or not. It's always going to be pricier. Alright, well, you have a good night there, Quiz. Say hello to everybody for me, and thanks so much for being here. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's get a little bit more of a light over here. Let's get a little more on that scarab there, maybe on this side too. Now on his face, I want to try and get something for the eyes here. We'll still do the red glowy eyes for the horses. Yeah, we'll still do that. Oh, thank you, Cheese Whiz. Yeah, actually, Cheese Whiz, there's been a couple of times I've tried to raid Touch of Chaos, and there was one time where it stopped the stream, must have just as we were about to raid or something, and then there was another time where something must have just kind of gone wrong. So that was about the fourth time or so that I was trying to do a little raid to Touch of Chaos, because it's always great to see more 2D art, and of course it's since it's the black and white, kind of the charcoal type stuff, it has a lot of value, shall we say, because we do our film noir here. It's literally like she's working in film noir the entire time. So I thought, well, that'll be really handy for folks to see. Alright, because we do the film noir stuff here. Moonlight Minis, I don't think so. I think it's Williamsburg, or it's Williamsburg, and that's it. Now, of course, what is it? The Schminke that has what, the Academy, and the Norma, and the Messina. There's a few other ones that have kind of that gradation, but yeah, the Williamsburg, I haven't seen anything. Maybe they do, but I don't think so. Hey, Frozen Toes, how you doing? Nice to see you again there, Frozen Toes. As always, great to see you. Here, 1 second. I need to... that's the thing I needed. Okay. Yeah, yes, I will. A little more of the light there, a little bit more of the light here, also over here. Also over here. Oh yeah, gee whiz, yeah, this needs more of it. Blades, I was looking around, I have a bunch of them, but the only flashlights I have here are just the red ones, because the green one that I needed for this, I was trying to move around some cords and some other things, and I actually used it as a regular flashlight, so of course it's down in the basement. It's down in the basement. So Horns fan, we haven't done a film noir yet. What is this going to show? Now there's so much, this is a more muted palette here right now, so it might actually look like object source lighting. Normally it doesn't, right? And the one last night did not look like it when we did this. But here, it still kind of registers as object source lighting. Now, what are we talking about here? Let me grab the one from last night. Here, almost not so much. Let's do this. Boom. Let's bring back that color. We're almost 50, almost 50. There we go. So you can see now all of this is like we turn down the object source lighting. Right? Because here, not again, that's just our regular, cooler colors, more toned down, more grayed down, warmer, more saturated colors. Same here. Our object source thing, while it is more saturated, it's not quite as big of a difference, all right, from everything else that's here. Frozen Toes, that's great. Frozen Toes, if you wanted to share anything that you're working on in the chat, please go ahead. That, as always, would be fabulous. And I might still come back into this with some of our dark too. It's not, again, not a zero-sum game. Sometimes we go back and forth. And by the way, this is not even 2 hours. Not even 2 hours yet. So let's start fooling around over here. Start fooling around there. I'm going to do this and this. There's a bit of a turquoise right there. I'm trying to get that back to the dry brushy stuff. Oh, look, a microfilbert. Yes, there's a microfilbert for us. And what are we doing here? Again, it's basically like we put a pre-glaze on there. And I'm also going to do a little bit of this to reflect some of that. Up here too. Also there. Also here. Also here. Right? Because that's metal facing upwards. It's going to basically capture whatever kind of a sky color there is there. So the Horns fan, thanks as always for doing the film noir. It shows so much, doesn't it? Especially when you kind of compare it to other stuff. It's really wild to see that. I think he with the scarabs might just go violet on them or something like that. We could go some violet on them. I'm actually going to take some of that and bring that down into here, because again, it's all supposed to be in shadow anyhow. So literally just a hint of it there would be pretty much, well, okay. Glad everything is going well there, Frozen Toes, of course. See that? See how that blended with what's already there, even though it's very much a dry brush. And guess what? We're going to chuck a little bit of that into here too. That's see that already starts to turn a little bit of a greenish tone. I'm going to try to think about getting some of this lighter stuff here on our little saddle blankets. You know what? That should be reflected on here too. Fine, whatever. Don't care. Trying to do the same deal down in here. Do this too. And this. Also here. There. More of our, again, that kind of a turquoise color. Not the, you can see it's a different temperature, right? Even then, that's a warmer green than this. That's why I just tell folks, forget the stupid color wheel thing. For all that is green and good in this world, abandon the color wheel. It's just, all it does is confuse people a lot. It confused us in art school. If they would have just said, oh, yeah, warmer color versus cooler color, that's really more the metric you need to be considering, which is a heck of a lot easier to absorb, right? Because, well, okay, this is warmer, more yellow. This has less yellow. It's cooler color, that's it. Instead of trying to fool around with color wheels and everything else, it's like, no, why do that when there's a heck of a lot easier way? All right, you've got a magenta. Magenta's cooler than an orange. Why? Orange has more yellow in it. I mean, that's a whole lot easier way to remember things, right? Let me see. Actually, Hugh, I do have the Lost Kingdoms ones. Now, I printed out a bunch of those, but boy, they were really spindly. I will try to print those out again, just knowing what I know. And of course, I have the Mono X printers now, so that would make a difference. And the gray resin. Thank you so much, Sebastian. Yeah, actually, yeah, Frozen Toes, if you want to share those, that'd be great. And of course, Sebastian Illustration, please go ahead and share. I know you just finished your stream, so you're not going to have an Instagram or Discord post of that. If you do want to skedaddle off to a photo booth or anything and create, again, Facebook, Discord, Insta post or something like that to share, please go ahead. Now, Sebastian, we did actually get a chance to do some 2D art again a couple streams ago. This was our Thursday stream. So this was very fun, and ironically, all the same oil paints are going into this. You see some of there's your Terra Rosa, the Asphaltum, and some of the yellows there. We've got, well, the Terra Rosa, the Asphaltum, the yellows. Then you have the turquoise. We were just starting to work in some turquoise over here. All right. And then, of course, we have our greens as well for the object source lighting. So Cheese Whiz, because this color range is a little bit more compressed than the other one. What did that? Here it is. So here, that is very much a warm color. So that's why we could turn it off there, because this difference is more of the oranges versus all of these cooler colors. Oh yeah, sorry, Cheese Whiz. There was yeah, I think the autocorrect nabbed you there. I got confused by the autocorrect. So sorry about that, Cheese Whiz. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Didn't mean to correct that there. But yeah, the autocorrect, I read that differently because horse was ours. So that kind of confused me a bit. Sorry about that. So everybody please check out the Instagram link that Frozen Toes posted. And of course, again, from Sebastian, there's a Discord link right there. Now, we are painting some more of our Tomb King's Chariot. This is an old metal figure. This is Settra. That's from Games Workshop. These are 3D printed horses. You just saw one of them here. These are from Titan Forge. This was our stream last night. Yeah, it was last night's stream. And here's a few more of the horsies right here. Again, these are all 3D printed. You can see with all their nice little wrappings and trappings right there. And of course, we've been doing some chariots as well. Here's a couple of them. These are from Titan Forge. Now, I had considered using these more skeletal horsies for Settra's Chariot, but he basically did, I think, 2 poses, maybe 3. And actually, the bigger, beefier, mummified horses actually made better. They were better candidates for the Settra Chariot. And we actually, the Patreon video where we did all the basing of this thing, that is actually up on the Patreon page now. So there you go. So yeah, Cheese Whiz, this doesn't quite disappear because of you got such a strong value intensity there. You know what? Let's do an even different color here. Now I'm gonna zoom in here just to make it easier to see. Okay, there we go. So this is Schmandolf, the older and much tougher, much larger, tougher brother of Gandalf. So even though, see, there's a little bit of object source light there just because of the intensity of the value. But here, look at this. We bring this back. It's a color temperature thing. Again, check this out. Dingy, warmer colors, really saturated, cool color. Look at his hat. We'll do this again. Away that go. I mean, yeah, there's value there. But then when we do this, boom, right? We're almost at 50. There we go. Now we're at the 50. So it just gets kind of wild to see that, right, Cheese Whiz? All right, see you later there, Legion of Grey. And again, thank you so much. because we did make a bunch of these, getting ready for our well, speaking of horsies, I mean, this is a cavalry channel after all. It's a cavalry channel, so of course we have to have Bretonians. Let's see if, no. Let me use this one here. Let's use this one here. Got to get some of the yellow out of there though. And okay, there we are. Now again, this does not have to be dramatically different. Just a little more. Yeah, just that little bit might do the trick. Nah, I don't want to go too crazy because again, the lighter we make this appears dingy. Oh, how about we back out a little bit again here? We'll do this. Maybe nah. Do I like it better? Yeah, I like it better when people can see the whole day, at least for right now. Ooh, you know what? No, I won't do that just yet. Actually, this is where the flashlight would come in handy because we need some of our green over there. Not over here, obviously, so we can go more with our lighter turquoise over here. Like so. Not so much there, right? Now I'm going to go over here to the green and hit some of these areas that we really haven't done anything to yet, at least with the source lighting. So yeah, Horns fan, well, I don't know if you heard in the stream, but basically almost all of the flat matte PLA is gone from the bamboo site. The only colors left are like pink and white and some kind of really light blue or something like that. All the other colors are gone. So yeah, Grand Oracle, and it's still been that way, what, 2 days in? Now, Grand Oracle, I know that you told me about the whatchamacallit there, the Elegoo, just getting a couple of them, right, instead of getting the package of 10. I've got a hatchbox coming that's here tomorrow. Just this, the kind of spools that I've been using, because I gotten what, 3 of those before. So yeah, I just got a hatchbox spool coming this way, because that would buy me potentially another 2-3 days or so, and maybe by then bamboo would have the stuff. It would be nice. Again, I might still ultimately, who knows, well, we could always experiment with the Elegoo and see how that works. So glad you finally got your GW stuff there, Horns fan. Also, we have to start thinking, is this casting kind of a shadow out here? You know what, that might still reach a little bit over here. On maybe the main, and a little bit there. So now, Horns fan, we're just getting into more of a little bit of a color difference. Cheese Whiz. Now we're starting to get into more just a color sort of thing, because they've kind of got like that dingy Terra Rosa asphaltum stuff, and now we got this green color on top of it. So that's there is a little bit of that going on, kind of like what we had with the orange and the cooler colors. What was it Landress said? It was the dingy midtones. Yeah, that's going to be the name of my band, the Dingy Midtones. That's right. So yeah, Moonlight Minis, I've used 3 hatchbox spools already. Or was it 2? No, I think it was 3. Wow, I already tore through 3 of those. And those work just fine. Now, of course, they're these regular spools, right? They're not refill spools. I guess I could look to see if they just have hatchbox refills. I didn't even want to have to deal with that, so I just had to be just give me a regular spool. Don't want to have to deal with the other stuff. So yeah, with the Hank from Adepticon, he uses Elegoo PLA, and a 10-pack of that I think is $109 for refills. So now you're getting into more like about 11-ish dollars, and I think it is free shipping as well. So you're talking somewhere in the neighborhood of $11 for a refill, whereas the bamboo, yeah, with the discount is $16. So Cheese Whiz, it's kind of wild how this plays out, right? It really is. Okay, so Moonlight Minis, this is suggesting Ildimax. Actually, Grand Oracle or Valfera, have you guys... Oh, geez, Valfera, did you get a chance to post your dragon in the chat there? Sorry if I forgot to ask you. And I was wondering, Grand Oracle, have you used the Ildimax at all? The Valfera, it's... Remember the old of the... that's why we ended up with these, right? Because remember, people would go and buy all the brushes, and there was nothing left for me, right, Valfera? So Cheese Whiz, just the horsies. This is the old metal Settra, as evidenced by this from the 2014 images right here. Almost there. Yeah, so that's from 2014. So he is the same old metal figure, but the mummified horses, they are from the January release of Titan Forge. So Titan Forge miniatures right there. So I'm actually Moonlight Minis. If you could do me a favor and shoot me an Insta message just as a reminder, because again, with the state of my brain, because again, we've just been dealing with insurance that literally the entire week, and other stuff too. So my brain would be, well, it's feeble already. It would just be more feeble. So if you could just shoot me a reminder of that, that would be helpful. So Valfera, my brother, he was actually really happy. He was really happy because he's had a rough time finding S scale stuff. All he finds is HO, O scale, and none of that stuff. Because he's not familiar with 1/72nd, 1/35th, 1/48 like we are, and I've tried to familiarize him with that. And actually, a Valfera, I think I sent you the picture with the bolt action figures on it. There we go. Everybody please check out that dragon there that Valfera posted. And again, at some point I will experiment, I promise, with that 0.2 nozzle. Actually, Grand Oracle, speaking of 0.2, have you continued with that experiment there? With ye old 0.2 nozzle? I'm going to get me some more green on here. A little more there. So Cheese Whiz, we kind of establish it first, but then I also see that it should be extended. Now, of course, sadly I don't have the green, the green flashlight that I would normally use. But as you see it here, see how there's red all the way out to there. We first sort of established in general where we think it should go, but the oracle of the flashlight says, see, we need to get some more over here. They're using it for minis that do not need any supports or less than. So a Grand Oracle, well, actually, the Grand Oracle for bases that have designs on them, that would not be a bad idea, because it wouldn't slow it down too much, right? And it would obviously you wouldn't have the layer lines in all your sculpted stuff, because those those bases just print flat, and it's a pain, right? Yeah, Valfira, and it's going to have lights on the inside of it too, because all of his buildings, now he's going to have to drill a hole in the floor, but it should be really exciting to see how that plays in with all the other buildings. That's good, Grand Oracle, because, well, not only getting into the old world stuff, but I have the Capillary factory bases. I have a whole bunch of printed. Obviously, printing goes ever on, right? Now, see, I'm not going to make it reach all the way out there. I am going to have it reach over here a little more, though. See, so Cheese Whiz, see, I'm kind of going a little more here because I put the flashlight in here, and I could see some red. So I'm like, I need to get me some green over here. So Horns Fan, actually, here's one. I've been keeping this around. So it's just, oh, here we go. This is that the texture roller again from Green Stuff World. That's just Sculpey clay. Now again, I like the extra firm gray, but I was out of that, and I just had to do a bunch of these. And as you can see, it's rolled out, it's baked, and then just break it into pieces. That's a piece of bulletin board cork. Right now, that's actually just a piece of plastic card. That's it. And let's do this here. So yeah, Horns Fan, you can always shoot me a message, and I can get you. Dick Blick has it. Oh gosh, what's the other place? Hobby Lobby. Well, Michaels will have it too. You could get it on Amazon. It will be more expensive there. Now for Valfira, Landrast, Grand Oracle, I have, speaking of Capillary Factory, I've got a dice roller, one of those rolling towers, and it's a Capillary, it's the Argonath. My question is, obviously it's going to be hollow on the inside because of the baffles. Now I am not going to want to print that with supports, because, well, how am I going to get those out of the interior? Because, well, I'm pretty sure it's one piece. Now, if it's multiple pieces, it doesn't matter, and never mind, which it could be. That's good, Horns Fan. And again, the ideal stuff you're looking for is the extra firm gray. That's the ideal stuff. You can use the other Sculpey, but it'll be frustrating. It will be less frustrating to use the gray extra firm, because as I was rolling those out, believe me, there was some frustration involved. Again, that was just desperation, because I had to get something, and that had to just do. So everybody, please check out that Night Whispers link there. Also, please give Night Whisper a follow. So that's good to know. I would think so, and I can't imagine they designed it to, well, they wouldn't design it to be mostly printed on an FDM style printer, right? It's so huge. Who would want to be printing that up on a resin style printer? Yeah, it'll be a little bit more, Horns Fan, but not too much more. I mean, okay, it might be $2-3 more, but that's it. So yeah, thanks, Velfair. I kind of figured that it couldn't be too crazy. Now let's get some more lights here on these areas. So I'm pretty much just back to the fast matte white here. And that's all that's going to do is just, again, mix with colors that are already here. We're going to even use the blending brush to make that happen some more. So Armored Wolf was kind enough to post a link to that in the chat. So that's Armored Wolf, the bestest moderator on all the Twitches right there. Everybody please check out Armored Wolf's Etsy page and also Instagram for the fabulous dice bags. Actually, Armored Wolf, did you know that Baron of Dice was going to be at Adepticon? I'd only just a few hours ago saw an Instagram post by them that said they were going to be at Adepticon. So that's nice. I will definitely try to make it into the viewers room to see him there, because we love Baron of Dice. At least half now of my Lord of the Rings dice are from Baron of Dice. That's good, Velfira. I mean, I like their other ones too. They have, well, you could spend a lot of money on Tuxlari Factory, right, Velfira? You could empty out. It would almost be like going getting Dick Blick color or getting Williamsburg colors on Dick Blick, wouldn't it? You could do some serious wallet damage there. That's fantastic, Armored Wolf. Gee whiz, I'm gonna try and get some pictures taken of the armies with the dice and such. Yeah, better get a little bit more light back there. Now for these scarabs here, what I'm actually going to do is go lighter on those, and then we're going to actually re-glaze these again. We're going to hit them again, but with a violet glaze. So that's going to transform those a little bit. Yeah, Velfir, it's just I really do enjoy their stuff. It's got their own kind of personality to it. It seems to be really, really good sculpting as well. And obviously, they got the bases. They have, well, genuine armies there. And I know their latest Kickstarter is obviously Shmoom Kings. So yes, that will be a Tuxlari Factory doing the Tomb Kings. And that's coming up now. What is it? Again, Titan Forge. Their January and February releases are Shmoom Kings. Highland Miniatures. Gosh, I think this goes back to October or September or something. They're Shmoom Kings. I know that he kind of went back to orcs and other stuff after doing that one release of Shmoom Kings. Now, let me get the Indian yellow. Don't want too much thinner in this. Hornspan, that would be great. That would be great. And it's, Hornspan, it's kind of, instead of kind of trying to rush into Adepticon for this year, it's almost kind of a good plan to just sort of wait. Just wait a little bit. Don't be a hasty little hobbit, right, Hornspan? Kind of find out as much as you can about Adepticon. That way you kind of know a little bit more about what you might want to do there. And then when it comes time to do the cart and everything else, you won't be guessing. You don't want to be taking any time guessing. No, not at all. So Valfira, everybody is, well, you're going to see a lot of Bretonnians and you're going to see a lot of Tomb Kings, because those were the two starter boxes that GW released. And again, the Tomb Kings starter box is 30-year-old miniatures. The Bretonnian box is 20-year-old miniatures. So needless to say, those of us that want stuff like this that's not literally the same ancient figures from 30 years ago, well, we're enjoying one-page rules, Lost Kingdoms, Highland Miniatures, Titan Forge. Actually, Archvillain did some. I'm pretty sure that even maybe a Monster Mini Factory or Monster Mini Mayhem did. So Cheese Whiz, the light source diminishes in its effect. So it has less effect out here. It's just going to be diminished. Obviously here the light source is at 100. Out here it's got to be more like 10%, maybe 15% max, something like that. So it's the whole idea of the color temperature is the light source a green? Okay. Well, then you're going to want something that's maybe like a dingy red to compare with that green. That'll be a contrast. What you really don't want is a bunch of bright green horsies and bright green, saddle stuff here, and then a bright green light source all on top of each other. That just is not going to read terribly well. So that's where we get into the warm and cool and that sort of thing. Remember the Schmandorf that I showed there, and he had the like here. Okay, you got the blue reflecting from down here. So there's also reflected light too. That's another consideration always to keep in mind. Because if it ain't got reflections, it ain't gonna look like metal. That's for sure. Not at all. And this is not the lightest we can go here. This is still, again, sort of a light middle tone. No highlights on here yet. Nope, no highlights yet. So yeah, Velfira. Now, of course, the Lost Kingdom stuff, that was years ago when they did theirs. And they years ago did Bretonnians. Now, I forget when Highland Miniatures did their Bretonnians, but the December release for Titan Forge, I believe, was Bretonnians. So I think you can tell that they were trying to maybe be a little cheeky there. And they knew, remember I said, they're just going to put the same old stuff in there. It's going to be the same stuff that is ancient. And sure enough, that's what they did. Now, obviously, there's some folks that... Now, okay, I had to get rid of all the Tomb King stuff. Maybe there's a nostalgia thing where I would say, I wish I had the old figures again. So I buy the starter box. So, that's why a bunch of folks maybe are getting those, because they had Tomb Kings back in the day, and they maybe had to sell them off or whatever. And now they say, I would like to have those miniatures back again. And then maybe they don't have a 3D printer. There's that too. That's certainly possible. Again, remember earlier I was having that discussion about, in some ways, oil painting is a bit like 3D printing. It can be an acquired flavor. It can be a wee bit on the frustrating, so you can get surprised. There's never anything the same. Right, you can do everything exactly the same and still have some different results, right? Thank you so much, Death Scented. I appreciate that. Whew, speaking of scented, this guy's still on the pipe, but you said something about an intervention. I don't think it worked. Like, yeah, well, what can I say? I was fighting the battle. I got stressed out, man. I had to get back to the weed. Thank you so much, Death Scented, for that follow. Appreciate that. Oh, Death Scented, thank you so much for the follow. It's kind of funny. I'll tell folks all the time. I said, gee whiz, I could swear I was already following. But Twitch is twitchy. And then sometimes you do get unfollowed. It's happened to me. Actually, it happened to my moderator. He said, holy smokes, I didn't get the notifications because Twitch unfollowed me. Or he all of a sudden he wasn't following me anymore. And it wasn't like he did that. It just Twitch kind of did it for him. Well, again, Twitch is twitchy. For sure. Let me, here, I'm just going to get some of the paint out of this guy here. We'll use this as another micro blending brush here. So yeah, Valfira, remember when I said they were going to treat Warhammer Old World like Lord of the Rings, where there'll probably be some new supplements here and there. They'll probably do some new character figs, maybe some new monsters. But all of the regular line troops and everything else, that's going to be the same kits that have always been around. And that is exactly what happened. It is the same kits, with the exception of a few scant new ones. And that's fine. I just didn't want people to be disappointed thinking that, whoa, there's going to be an entirely new Tomb King's army or something like that, or Bretonnians. Again, we would have loved something like that, but I knew there was very little chance of that happening. They'll probably see it as sort of like a Blood Bowl, Necromunda, right? Kind of a specialist game. That's the word I'm thinking. Specialist game. Which is fine. Again, doesn't bother me. I'm kind of glad that they don't go too crazy, like with our Lord of the Rings stuff. That keeps the system very stable. Kind of the less involvement they have with it, the less crazy things can get. So sometimes that is a good thing. Maybe I'll have to try and get some of my reds and blues into this, but I'm also gonna, now we're gonna try and get some of our highlights. And I might actually zoom into this as well. Now that we're starting to get in, we're starting to get into some more detail type things. So let's do that here. So again, Death Setting, thank you so much for being here. And again, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate that. Where's my blending brush? Okay, fine. I'll just use this. There we go. Yeah. Let's get up here. And all of a sudden, the mid-tone stuff that we were doing. See that? See, there's our actual highlight right there. Which we will do again down here. Some of that over here. Prinkles. Prinkles the Imperial War Kitty. Now just make sure you keep that litter box clean at all times there, Valfira. Where is there you are. So what was this about other cats? I hear you painted 3 of those. Do you seriously expect me to share litter box and cat treats with 3 other inferior cats? It's like, whoa, what you doing here? It's like I kind of run the place. Well, I was kind of thinking that was me actually. It's like the cat says the cat is running things around here. So says the cat. All hail Prinkles. There you go, Grand Oracle. All right, here we are. Yes, if Prinkles is invoked, well, obviously Prinkles must appear, right? I mean, we do not want to endure the wrath of Prinkles or anything like that. Because Prinkles might do something of a vengeance nature that involves maybe things that usually go in litter boxes. I could see something like that happening. Let me lighten this up a little bit here too. There we go, with a little bit of edge there. And then here as well. Blending brush. Blending brush. There you go. Look at that. That was not difficult, nor will this be. Blending brush. Just gonna get some of that junk out of there. There you go. I'm gonna carry this up a further there. What the heck? Why not? Also, over there, blending brush, poof. Not going to do the light there just yet. Not just yet. See what we can do on this side of Mr. Chariot here. We're also going to try and get some dingier greens over here. And that's going to be... So, Cheese Whiz, this is a saturated green. A lot of the greens, where's Mr. Yeah, let's maybe grab this one here. So, see some of those greens? That's kind of a really dingy green. That's a real saturated green right there, right? Because we got the fluorescence in there. And, what is that? Well, phthalo green and Prussian blue in there. Holy smokes. So Valfira, that could be... when mustard containers attacks, it could be because of Prinkles. I would not put any of those things past Prinkles, that's for sure. Now, much like last night, I might run off and get me some more medicine because we had our hype train there. So I might need to do a little bit of a medicine refill like we did last night. It was very handy. Yes, we might just be doing ourselves a little bit of a medicine refill. I do believe that if we do not appease the will of Prinkles, again, something very unfortunate is going to happen. So Spitfire Miniatures Games Workshop, they will be doing their Golden Demon, so they send a crew there. There's a crew there that runs the Golden Demons, and that's probably the biggest portion of their crew ends up there. They also, I think they also have instructors there, but Armored Wolf could answer some of those type of questions as far as what kind of personnel maybe GW sends along to Adepticon. That kind of sometimes changes each year, but they obviously have some of their, I don't want to say PR, but some of the folks that are going to do like their presentation on Wednesday. I think they do an official presentation on Wednesday. Kind of a reveal, sort of like what they did at LVO and such. Nope, Cheese Whiz. Again, right at the source, right? Just like a firelight, right? It's going to be lightest right there, more intense right there. It will be less intense further away from it. And again, you're trying to contrast, right? So look at this, dingy colors, right? Those are red-ish, but that's very intense color. Fluorescence, phthalo greens, this, Terra Rosa, kind of dingy stuff over here. And same thing, dingy over here. Same thing on this side, right? More of a dingy color, so that these intense colors right here, those have a chance to really show up more. Because remember, there are many, many different types of contrast. Light and dark are, that's one of them. But there's a whole bunch of other forms of contrast. Even edge contrast. You've heard me mention that, right, Cheese Whiz? That's especially when you're getting into your metals and such, where you want things to really look, well, sharp. They better have some hard edges on them. Well, and totally the opposite with cloth, with skin, right? So Golden Demon booth and a vendor booth and the preview cruise, and that is it. So the vendor booth, that's going to be the Forge World, like usual, right, Armored Wolf, where there's going to be 8 bazillion people standing in line. So yeah, if you're getting stuff at the Forge World thing, you're going to be there a while, right, Armored Wolf? Because you and about 1,000 other folks are probably going to be in that line, so just be prepared for that. At least that's how it's been in previous years. So, I mean, they sort of send a crew there. Again, that's mostly probably to, again, run that Golden Demon. You know what? Fine, we'll let more of our light get on that. And over here, too. And then over here. Oh, and by the way, this is 2 hours and 38 minutes. Yes, 2 hours, 38 minutes. Oh, and here we go. We can start to do something on our horses over here. Since that has really hit a chance to set. Which is fine, no big deal. That's it's all well and good. It's not dry. You can see the darker paint getting on the edge of the brush there. Once again, just doing some dry brushy stuff here. I just want to get their little glowing eyes and such here. I need to have a little bit more going on with their faces there. So Armored Wolf usually takes the, again, the don't be hasty little hobbits and just kind of waits till more like a Saturday, Sunday type of thing to head over to the Forge World booth. I mean, if you got your heart set on whatever, then you want to wait in that line. Stuff will get sold out. I think I said, hey, Armored Wolf, Roy was trying to get me some Lord of the Rings stuff from Forge World. I told him, you know, don't bother because, and now this is before, I see this about a couple of years ago, before a lot of the releases that I have now from my different 3D sculptors. I told him, be patient, those releases will happen. Obviously, he was a bit hasty. He regrets being quite so hasty now. Well, Velferret, we'll see you later. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully I'll be able to get that the Abyss ready for some Armada Mondays. We haven't had Armada. Oh, well, no, actually, I might not be streaming Monday. Never scratch that. Now, we're kind of in the same situation where this Monday was. Where it's like, oh, am I supposed to be going to do the mural thing? Only to find out at about 6 some odd o'clock in the morning, no, that's not going to happen. So, we shall see how that works. Actually, Grand Oracle, speaking of Smaug, so remember McFarlane's toys? I guess it was sort of a pre-order for those. Well, they were supposed to be here December 15th. Then it was December 22nd, and they've been adding a week to it till it was, I thought I was going to get them January 15th. Then it was the 22nd. Then it was the 29th. Then it was February 5th, or now it's up to February 12th. So, Grand Oracle, I have a feeling at some point in 2027 that might actually show up here. I probably should have just said the heck with it and paid the extra $20 and just gotten them from McFarlane's. Either that or Grand Oracle, maybe it's the same reason why, you know, you had to deal with what you were dealing with your shipments of stuff. Could be probably the same thing. I don't know. What do you think? Something tells me maybe that's it. Oh, here, speaking of Terra Rosa, a little bit of our Terra Rosa in that. And that's going to make this a bit pinkish here. And that's what we need. Yeah, a little different something here. We kind of have a lot of the same happening. We need a little different coloration there. Again, just trying to do something different. Also on our horsies over here. Grand Oracle, well, it hasn't even, doesn't even show as shipped yet. So I don't think there's anything I can do. Now, fortunately, it was only, I think they were $39 or something. I believe now you can check out McFarlane's toys if they're actually available now, but they're 50 something. I think they were maybe $60. But yeah, I had hoped to be able to do videos on those. Oh, here, let me get more of the, can that Terra Rosa into the, there we go, into the rains here. It's just, it's very disappointing. Pretty much every single week, they just keep adding another week to it. And it is already now, let's see, a month and a half past the date it was supposed to be here. So that is getting a bit tiresome, to say the least. Now, I'm going to get me some of this, again, a Terra Rosa out there. Well, you can really see that. And this is the same, remember I was saying that the cobalt teal bluish was kind of like cobalt Terra? It does the same sort of thing as this. That opacity, that intensity is really wild. And again, Terra Rosa just has that extra pizzazz to it. And as you can, one of the reasons why 2 hours and 44 minutes have only passed here since we first started to paint this is because a good chunk of it's green. Right down in here on him, all that's green. So that would have probably been alternating bands of blue and gold and red everywhere along here. Instead, it's just green. And people say, "Wow, look at all the neat stuff going on here." Meanwhile, we chuckled to ourselves and we said, "Haha, we just had to make it green." Remember, anytime someone says, "Oh, you can't do object source lighting on a whole army," I say, "Are you kidding me? Why would you not want to?" Because every army that we've done object source lighting on has taken a fraction of the time, right? We did, what, 15 of those goblins in a 12-hour stream with the non-metallic, with the object source lighting. Let's get down to our dwarves here. I believe there's 9 dwarves there. That was a 10.5-hour stream. That's object source lighting. That's non-metallic metal. Why would you not want to just say, "Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put that on everything." It's kind of like that that hot sauce. Where's our not the way? Oh, here we go. Yeah, our Dunlendings, Wolves of Isengard, same thing. Why not? Why not just go all out on the object source lighting and say, "Yeah, you know what? I like the idea of painting 1/3 of my army one color, and that's it." Or maybe half. So yeah, I was wondering, Grant, with what it's weird though, because we're experiencing that with the bamboo stuff, but my printing resin. Now, of course, I'm probably jinxing myself by saying this, but my printing resin has been just fine. Right? The gray version 2, it's been the same cost, it's been available, and we've seen what happens when they're not, right? We've certainly experienced when they're not available. Here, let me get out. There we go. Again, the Terra Rosa on that. Ooh, here, let's get these guys. Let me thin that down a little bit. A little bit there. Get into this. Again, the reins here, the bridles. Work some of that up here. I just realized, and that's going to, see how that, dingy as that might be, it still provides quite the color contrast to the fur. Well, what's left of the fur on the horses' heads. I thought there was another area missing over here. Oh, death scented. Sorry that the War Machine, War Mahord stuff kind of went kerplooey there. I know there was other folks that were dismayed, to say the least, when that happened. Okay, now what I want to do again here, let's, you know what, let's start out this way. Boy, I tell you, that Pearling Crimson, I don't know, were you here, Grand Oracle, when I did some of the Pearling Crimson and mixed that with, for like a little bit of a glaze thing there? I'm really going to be curious to see what the staining power of that is. And I think what I'll try and do is I've got those Lannister break-ins or whatever. And yeah, I think we'll break out some Lannisters and we'll see what that can do. All right, so there we've got our, whoops. See how easy it was to get rid of that? A little bit of an oopsie, not a problem. Get rid of it nice and easy. Now, we were talking about utilizing this. We're going to break this one out here. Hopefully we can get this working with some of our fast matte whites, some of our yellow, and a little bit of our naphthol scarlet. Some of the Indian yellow, though, to keep that from getting too peachy. Don't want that to get too peachy. There we go. Let's begin here with this. And now you see that the big difference here, right? That's a much longer to also these bristles definitely have much more firmness to them, and that's what I really start to need now as I kind of progress here with this. Spitfire miniatures, priming is something you're just always going to want to do. Now, oil paints, they are very sturdy, they're very robust, and you could, in theory, not have to, but it's always a good idea to prime any miniature, or terrain, for that matter. No matter what you're doing, it's a better, you'll just get a better result, it's going to last longer, so definitely something that you want to do. Definitely will want to prime it. And that's not a big deal. And of course, for the oils, we use the Stynores primer. This is from Badger Airbrush. You can use an airbrush if it's designed to use with an airbrush. I just brush it on myself because I'm typically only maybe just priming one miniature at a time like this. I used to prime hundreds of miniatures at once. That does not happen anymore. So it just wasn't necessary. So I said, all right, fine. I'll just brush on the primer. Haven't used an airbrush in what, 2 years now? No, gee whiz, closer to 3 years now. I mean, when you got the oils, all you need are the oil paints and some hairy sticks, and that's about it. Don't necessarily need to be doing the airbrush stuff. Sorry about that, Grand Oracle. I know you're still using the airbrush all the time. It almost feels like those eyes are a little bit bigger than the eyes on some of the other ones, but I don't think so. So yeah, again, glad that I've got the stronger, sharper bristles of these brushes right here. Now let's go a little lighter. Take some of this and just chunk it into the yellow over here, and this will be my brightest. I mean, I could take the little bit of the floral orange out of it, but nah, let's just do the, I need to get more of the yellow in here. I think that's the Indian yellow. Okay, I think that's a little closer to what I'm looking for. Looking to do the lightest light in the eye. There we go. There you go. So now hopefully the eye looks like it's a little bit of a glow to it. We can only do a couple of these, and we have to refresh that brush again. And remember, if I had too much thinner in there, what's going to happen? It's just going to become a pin line wash. That would be no bueno here. That would be very much a no bueno situation. So again, for the oils, we always, well, recommend Steiner Res Primer all the time for everything, but especially for the oils, you don't want to be using rattle can primers or anything like that. And usually we're doing more of a mid-range primer, so more like a gray, certainly not black or white. Even this is not black primer. It's a brown primer that I mixed. I took the black and the terracotta, and that made sort of, again, kind of a mid-range brown. You see, even something like this, that just that really brings out those, and that's why we didn't get too light with all of this stuff, right? The lighter that gets, just like our object source lighting, if all of this stuff gets too light, our source lighting not going to look so light anymore. It's going to look more like object source shading. Oh, geez, Sarge, I'm glad that you could at least hang out this long. Thanks for being here again. Sorry that you got nabbed there. I do hope that you'll be feeling better. I know you certainly hope you will be. But thanks, Sarge, as always, for being here. Really do appreciate that. And have yourself a good night's sleep. So like I said, in a couple of minutes here, I'm just gonna go and just want to grab myself some more medicine. Grab some more medicine, and then we will continue. I think what we're really going to focus on next is the horsies here, right? The horsies right here, because I want this stuff to set. We've been doing a lot of stuff over here, but that means that, again, you have to let those colors set. We have to come back in with some darks on these wheels, and also here's some more, again, sharper edges on those side blades and such. So we'll be coming back to that. Remember, we want to turn these more of a violet as well. Either that, or we, here we go, Grand Oracle. I'm going to mix the violet with our red, with the Perline Crimson, because we haven't had a chance to do that yet. I want to see what that's going to do. That is going to be pretty epic. I think that's going to be one heck of a color combo there. So that's just a spoiler alert. That's what we're looking to do in a little bit. There's that blending brush. There's our blending brush, and again, we're not at 3 hours yet, and this is a 100 millimeter square base. That's 4 horses. That's a big metal chariot with a dude and object source lighting, all that kind of stuff, and yet it hasn't even been 3 hours yet. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Oh, looky there, because of our little bit of a glazy thing we did. See, there's something for me to mix with right here. Look at that. I didn't even need the blending brush there. Did not even need it. Now, before I forget here, let me do this one little thing. Before I go get me some medicine, I'm just going to take some of this, some of the indigo, and we haven't done anything with this yet. That same blending brush. So all I did was I just chunked down that color. We do this. Oh, yeah, guess we don't need the airbrush. Here, same deal. I'm going to get some of this on the brush and then just move some of it down there. So again, this is where we're going to be putting some more lights there. And again, boy, look at you can see just how look at the precision of those brush strokes. Nothing but brush stroke precision here. Look at that. Okay, we'll just take our blending brush to that. We just shaded, what, 4 or 5 hooves there in a few seconds. With the color variety as well. Remember, we've done the dry brushy stuff. Then we did the some of the glazy stuff there. Yeah, let me... Ah, there's the stuff that I had over there. And then that's here, let me just get the stuff out of the brush, blending brush, blah, blah, blah. There we go. Scumble that right in there. And that's, again, the beauty of the oil paints, right? Hey, Landrest, did you ultimately restore your miniature to a blank canvas status, or did you continue to make it non-blank canvas? Obviously here, of course, and nothing can ever be as good as a blank canvas miniature, right, Landrest? And of course, blank canvas miniatures, they can be anything. Once you start putting paint on them, then they can't be anything anymore, right? Let's do this over here. Do this over here. Where are we at? Here we go. Take in this, spread that around. Again, make it nice and easy. So that would, well, you see, Landrest, there you go. There you go. Just, you always print 2 of everything. You print 2 of absolutely everything, and you can just say, well, I need to have a blank canvas archive. There you go, Landrest. It's a blank canvas archive. That's, of course, why Landrest is in charge of all the marketing here. That's for sure. Landrest also, one of the other major proposals that Landrest had was wheelless chariots. Because if you have wheels on a chariot, what are they going to do? They're going to break. If there's no wheels on the chariot, they can't break. Therefore, your chariot will last forever. So yes, wheelless chariots, that's another, again, that is another master stroke there by Landrest. Again, from the marketing standpoint, you can't beat that, right, Landrest? I mean, do you want a chariot where all of a sudden the wheel breaks and you're not going anywhere? Or do you want a less expensive chariot that has no wheels and they never break? So now, Landrest, did the owlbear make friends with anybody, or did he make somebody a meal? Because I always got to ask when that happens. So Death Scented says, I'm very familiar with those wheelless chariots. They're called sleds, or sleighs, or dog sleds. Yes, dog sleds. There you go. Hey there, Cobra Snake. How you doing? Now, Cobra Snake says if you don't have the wheels, you can't have the fun action scene where the wheels break and the driver goes flying off into the stands if it's a chariot race or whatever. The owlbear, actual Landrest. Maybe you just need more owlbears. Maybe you just need more owlbears. Actually, you need some walrus men too. So we'll have to get you owlbears and walrus men. Then they might show them a little more respect. So yeah, I think that's disrespecting the owlbear there. We'll have to make sure that they get some discipline. Let me take this again. It's just Van Dyke Brown right here, and it's almost a little bit of a glazy thing here. It's not quite a pinline wash. Grand Oracle, oh gosh, what is that game called? Circus Maximus? Yeah, that was many years ago. We were playing Circus Maximus, and of course my driver gets ejected out of the cart, and I'm just trying to run into the stands. And Kathy decided to run me over with her chariot, because you can do that in Circus Maximus. And then that was when I wanted to print out the Team Wappel t-shirts, where Team Wappel just had a couple of tire tracks going through it. So yeah, that was we wanted to create a special t-shirt for that to commemorate the spirit of comradeship and teamwork in Wappelville. Because that's certainly yeah, that's the height of teamsmanship right there. Driver's just trying to run to the stands, and next thing you know, gets pasted by another chariot. We don't want that up there. Hey there, Doji, how you doing? Doji, if you want to share, as always, your fabulous links in the chat there, please go ahead. So happy Sunday there, Doji. This has been very interesting. Now, I have not brought out our new Cobalt Terra. I'm just so tempted to call it, because it's got kind of, as I used some Terra Rosa here, it felt like I was kind of actually using that again, because it has very much a Terra Rosa vibe to it as far as the opacity of what it can do. Oh, and Doji, the bakery stuff definitely looked fabulous. Yes, indeed. So very fabulous with the bakery goods there. Looked very, very yummy. Yeah, I'm going to get me a little bit of this light over here. Oops, not too much. Not too much. Let's take some of that away. Some of that over here. And then down there. Whoop. Yeah, okay. We'll go with that. We're gonna roll with that. Whatever. We shall roll with that. We're gonna get some of our lighter stuff here. That little skelly friend. Maybe some more light over here. Finish that off. Hashtag no layers. Hashtag new layers. Don't need them. Don't want them. Now, blades, of course, I think you heard how I used the green one that I would have loved to use here as my little, oracle of the flashlight. Of course, that's probably down in the basement, again, where I was trying to use it as an actual flashlight, which proves they work really well as a flashlight, right? I did say they work really well as a flashlight. Now, let me see if I can get a few of my lighter greens. I mean, I'm going to say that's maybe a metal surface, so it should reflect some light anyhow. A little more right there. Now, how's about even lighter? And that, I want to try and get some of that right here. So let me see if I can hold this away. And then get my light there, and there. Okay. That's what we needed. Now over here, maybe we do a tiny bit of that, not much. Not as much. Get some of that paint off of that brush. Okay, look, my hand is on. I mean, it is closer to the back of the brush than the front of the brush. None of this here. No death grip on the brush. Caress the brush. Don't crush the brush. Oh, we'll try and get just a little hint of some of our greenish light there. Just a little something. I can't all be on this side, nothing over here. Especially if that's supposed to be sort of a shiny surface or whatever. Why would what barrier is magically stopping it from crossing over onto this side? So So yeah, I really had to search the interwebs for an actual picture of what Settra was all about, because it's been a little while since I last assembled him. Like 11, well no, 10 years, well no, more like 11 years ago. Because I used the army at Adepticon in 2014, so technically it's been more like 11 and a half years or so when I first started working on the tomb, because I still have my original sketches of what the Tomb King, what the army was supposed to look like. And the whole idea behind the army is that they were tainted by Tzeentch. So essentially the Tzeentch god tells the Tomb King, well, we'll make you real boys again. We'll make you human again. You just have to do some stuff for me first. And everything just completely transforms when that deal is struck. The carrion birds, his pet birds become carrion birds. Yes, everything changes. Stevie, how you doing? Great to see you again. And again, Happy New Year to actually Brush Guy. I don't think I even had a chance to do the Happy New Year thing with you before then. So, well, belated Happy New Year. Get some of my lighter green on this bit of the metal over here. We even have some of the violet over there. If you remember when we did that. That should probably get some lighter green on it too. Yeah, there we are, some more green there. Take away that little bit of brushstroke right there. Okay, what's happening with this thing? That needs something else. I sharpen a couple edges with the phthalo brown. So Van Dyke brown and phthalo green comboed together there. So glad that you're doing well there, Stevie. Stevie, well, I'm very excited to see what the latest piece of terrain looks like that was printing out while I've been streaming here. We're printing out the first of, hopefully, 4 regular Hobbit holes, and then the Hobbit Tavern. And then, well, there's other Hobbit. I just want to see how this stuff goes. These were kind of the most important pieces to do. And then eventually, yeah, I want to maybe print out a couple of other Hobbit-themed pieces. We've actually, I think we painted about 10 or 11 Hobbits here on the stream. Don't be hasty. This needs a wee bit of light right on that edge, and then this one here needs that teensy bit of light. Where's my blending brush again? There you are. So if that is too, why don't we take a little bit of that away. Now we need to get some over here and here. Again, if that is supposed to be a shiny surface, we need some sparkle to that. Now I feel like we got some. We didn't have any there before. So Stevie, I was printing out a building. This was for my brother for our old Wappelville train set. Now it is, at that time, it was very rare at the time. Even now it's still pretty rare. Instead of O scale or HO scale or N scale, it was done in S scale. And it was also the very first model railroad that didn't have that third rail. So it was supposed to be a more realistic looking thing. except it's impossible to find buildings for it. However, S scale just happens to be basically about 1/48, 1/50th. Well, it's maybe 1/50th or something like that. But that makes it essentially 28 mil scale because, well, bolt action vehicles are 1/50th scale. And I actually put some of the figures in front of. Oh, that's why I got this. Because not only does this serve as our hype train, but it is right around. It's maybe a little bit smaller. If it was maybe 5% bigger, that would be ideal. But this was meant to be basically moving terrain for my bolt action boards. And because he was having so much trouble finding any kind of buildings in S scale, I said, well, I can find a 28 millimeter building, and then we'll print it. And then you will have the right scale. I wonder if this is actually Indanthrone that I've been using instead of indigo here. It could be. That would be hilarious if it was. That would be absolutely hilarious. So I really love the S scale stuff because, again, it's not super small. It's also not gigantic. And that was the train set that I grew up with as a kid. And he's been trying to kind of redo it, reestablish it, and I just thought that it could be very nifty if he had some actual buildings of the correct scale inside, and obviously much more detailed than the plastic town buildings he's been getting, which again are not the right scale. They're either going to be too big or too small. I will be doing actually a tutorial video on the building that I just printed out for him because, well, we haven't really done any modern terrain. So we're going to do that. And also I've even got Green Stuff World graffiti decals, which I've never had a chance to use in all this time. And I thought, well, now I can try and use those. We'll see if they work. We'll see what they maybe work better on or things they don't work well on. But that's the goal anyway. Now, Arid, I know, I feel, I'm sorry that I haven't made any emotes in a while. I didn't make that one. Now, oh, that could be from somebody else's stream. Never mind. I'm like, when did I make that? Unless I'm like, the conversation there with Blades about, those dreams that are super, super realistic, even though everything in them is weird. Oh, wow, that's a hype train. Well, the Arid, that's really cool. That is really wild. Oh, and thanks, of course, Arid. Appreciate all the gift subs, but thanks for making that possible. Wow, that's I mean, I like to have more emotes for folks. This is much better right here. So you see what I'm doing there? Getting some more darks down in there. I'm going to try... Boy, is this Indanthrone or is this... I need an open spot here. No, I think that's indigo. Yeah, well, I just can't. It's been too much stuff going on here for me to even be able to realize which one that is. And now we've got some neon chickens there. Ooh, that's it, Blades. I was wondering. I was almost starting to wonder. Okay, we take the we do the bacon. Then maybe we do we put some chicken pieces in the air fryer with some maple syrup and some honey Dijon mustard. I don't know what the heck that would be like, but now for whatever reason I have to try it. It it feels like it's something that must happen. Now, is this... Whoa, wait a minute. Okay. Again, this is the cuisine channel, so this conversation is 100% legit. Yes, this is a Lord of the Rings channel, a Cavalry channel, a Song of Ice and Fire channel. It's a bolt action channel. It's a terrain channel. It's a basing channel. Also object source lighting. Also exercise channel, but also a cuisine channel. Yeah, I'm really liking these possibilities here. Now, of course, love me the slow cooker, right? Because you pile the stuff in there, you say, all right, take the next 6 hours, do something for me. I'm going to be doing other stuff. Now, this is another area where we must bring back some edges. Not so much looking for dark, we're just looking for some edges there. Yeah, here too. Not gonna do that. I was almost tempted. I was sort of tempted. Oh, here we go. We got some weird looking edges there. We're just gonna take the blending brush and that will get... Oh, that's why they're there. I'm like, why would there be a mold line there? This is 3D printed. Well, the horses are not that. So somehow a mold line escaped detection. Have I mentioned how I dislike mold lines and assembling figures? These are all just one piece. Yeah, there's no line down the center of the head or down the middle of the chest or then mold lines down each side of the leg. None of that sort of malarkey. Hey, Navarro, how you doing? Oh, it's... Geez, Navarro, we forgot our nom de guerre. Yes, we forgot that we're also an oil painting channel. So Lethal Shadows says, well, I'll also too remember, folks, that Lethal Shadows also has their own miniatures. We painted a bigger version of this already on the stream. So, and this one right here, this one's... Oh, this is gonna get the... Do I do Intensifying blue treatment, or are we going to use...
Hello, little hobbits. Spark my goblet.
Or do we go this way? Or do we maybe go this route with it? Maybe we go the Pearline Crimson... I think I'll still do the Intensifying blue. Thank you so much, Little Titan. I appreciate that. Now, we've seen a host of Gandalfs, but we haven't seen the grumpiest of all Gandalfs. Whoa, dude, what's with the arms there? It's like, yeah, that's, you know that glow stick in that kitchen utensil you see me carrying around all the time? It's like, yeah. Well, the little guys have those. You not so much. It's like, well, yeah, I tried to fight a Balrog with that stuff. Not the best plan. Spoiler alert. Also, stop saying that the gardener / chef is the hero of the story, because I'm like the immortal guy who dies. Oh, dude, we totally understand that. We're dead too. I'm getting out of here. Thank you so much, Little Titan. Appreciate that. So everybody, for all your 3D printing needs, now, let's say you don't have a pair of Mono X printers or a bamboo printer. Someone does, and that someone would be Lethal Shadows. And Lethal Shadows also has, I do believe it's 12 quadrillion different STL files. Well, that was as of this morning. There could be 13 quadrillion now. So everybody, please check out Lethal Shadows Gaming for your printing needs. Lethal Shadows, it just feels like it's 12 quadrillion, right? That's the problem. See, getting that stuff under there too late. Nope. We must We don't want to listen to the siren song of Admiral. When in doubt, make things darker. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make things darker. You'll end up on the rocks, which of course may not be the worst if you have the proper beverage, but generally you don't want to end up on the rocks. Well, there's a couple little weird. There's those crazy. Well, of course, a mole lion ran right through all that. Oh, this chariot, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pieces for just the chariot. He was 1, 2, 3, 4. He was at least 4 pieces. All metal, by the way, all metal. Thanks for doing that clip there, Bithron. Appreciate that, as always. Ooh, let's not go too dark with that. Now here, let me see if I can restore a few darks in here. Yes, we can. This one too. This one too. So thank you so much for the follows, everybody. Well, we passed our 8,500 mark, so thank you so much for that. Actually, it's more than passed, so thanks for everybody that has done the follow thing. We appreciate that. And of course, thanks to everybody for all the bits and the cheers. We also thank all of our raiders. Corvus Oculum and Hero Zone were the latest. The latest to raid here, so we appreciate everybody that does those too. And of course, all the folks that have been here for quite some time watching this little adventure happen. Thanks for doing that clip there, Bitron. Bitron, I know that you've done a lot of small scale stuff, and really, ideally, Bithra, wouldn't you want to be playing a rank and flank game in that scale? Because now wheeling and turning really means something instead of just, well, okay, this unit hits this one, this unit's going to counter, it's all so close together that it's like 1, 2, okay, everything charges everything else. This hits in the flank, that hits that in the flank. Here a flank, there a flank, somewhere else a rear charge. And just old McDonald ain't having a good time. So good night there, Arid. But that, yes, I totally. Well, it's 4:03 a.m. here. I just realized that. I think I got confoozled there because, well, this was a earlier start. Heck, it was almost an hour earlier than some of our other ones. Now this is a case of me just saying, you know what? I'm just going to. Well, that's a little too much thinner in there. Oh, by the way, this is, again, see, caress the brush, don't crush the brush. We are going to be putting out calls for these to see who wants some of these at Adepticon. But now that I'm not going to be sticking my hand over here so much, we're going to use this as a filbert brush, essentially, and we're going to kind of dry brush like this. But the bristles are super soft. So as you can see, I can kind of get some of these darker tones in here. Let me get this little blending brush right there. We shall do this again over here. Definitely over here now. So it's well, it's also for blades and death scented. Almost said death sentence. Sorry about that. It is now 5 something in the morning. 5:04, 5:05 in the morning. Boy, I think Bithron, remember we were talking about, what the heck is it called? Oh, the Joan of Arc game. Remember that, where you could do it as historical or as fantasy? Obviously, I wanted to do the historical version, but you kind of had a either or possibility with that. Well, Thranduil, that's okay because, well, Lethal Shadows, right? These are Lethal Shadows brushes. You could check the Lethal Shadows site and you can get some. Now, obviously, I think you can have them customized, but Lethal Shadows is in the chat, so you can ask Lethal Shadows all the pertinent questions. And again, the paint side is always the same, right? This because you do this. Again, remember to not lose that little spring that's in there, and then you can switch these things out. And I've got one. Oh, Bilbo has one over here. So there's again, that's one that was switched out. So that's what the paint the brush nibs are like. So there you go. Thranduil, there is the link to the Lethal Shadows brushes right there. You know what? Can you see what I'm doing here? I think you can. No. Still too much. I'm going to take some more off of there. Okay. Yeah, just trying to kind of simulate a little bit of a shadow here. A little shadow that a horse would be casting. Alright, what do we got going on over there? Also there. So I've mostly been working with Van Dyke Brown. A little bit of the Mars Black getting in there too. That's not nice and dark right there. Oh, here's the other thing we got to do. I knew I was forgetting something. These also have been really nifty brushes for doing our glazy stuff, our pin line washes. I will take some of our Terra Rosa. Fine, a little bit of the asphaltum. And this, gonna get some rust. Yes, rust in the desert, I know. It is what it is. It happens. Okay, there. We'll look at that, how it's seeped into Mr. Skelly Friend right there. Very nifty. In fact, I'm going to... so again, here's a look at this. Do you see me brushing this on there? No, not doing that. I'm doing this. Touch the brush too, that's all we do, and it goes where it goes. This little Skelly Friend here. Let's see, we'll get back to this. Let me get some of the light here. Let me get all this darker stuff out of it. I think that is indigo and not Indanthrone blue. This we've been using so many, and of course we're about to add another one. This is the video I'm going to be filming tomorrow using this. I've never even opened this tube before. Armored Wolf sent me a video about this particular color and its really unique properties, and we thought, well, we'll get it and we shall see what we can do with it. So yes, Armored Wolf snagged that, and we thought, let's see what we might be able to do with that. So trying to get some lighter stuff here on these here Skelly Friends. Yeah, oh, there's another one back here. Okay, fine, no problem. I'm gonna do this. Blending brush, and I did want to get actually a little bit of almost like a bluish gray on those, and now we have some, courtesy of that stuff being on the blending brush. Little bit of a light here on the eye sockets, maybe on the chompers there. Okay, we'll leave that alone now. Okay, that stuff. Now that's the one thing about the alkyds, is that the alkyds will set and even dry on the palette. So when we start experimenting with those, it'll be interesting, and that's where we're just adding the medium to it. So that we'll see. That's gonna be some terrain. So all this terrain that I'm doing, I'm going to try to take some colors that I know maybe are not the quickest drying ever, and I'm going to try and use those on some terrain. Actually, I was seriously thinking about having my Harad army. I was going to do red tile on the roof, but I might just do purple tile on the roof. And I think, well, Grand Oracle, I think he's already hit off to sleep. But, as we know, Egyptian violet, right, notoriously slow drying color. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, sure, lethal shadow, definitely. Because, well, we have to spread the book of Wappel, right? Can't caress the brush, don't crush the brush. So that's there we go. There you go. And again, I'm just kind of hoping that all the madness with the insurance stuff ends this week. That's, if you're wondering why I haven't been able to do the announcement, the more formal type thing yet, it's because we've been dealing with legal documents and notaries and all this other kind of stuff. So that's why I've been no time to do that. But fortunately, for those that are definitely not going to be able to, because of distance, make Adepticon. And well, of course, obviously, Lethal Shadows can't be at Adepticon because sadly you can't be in 5 places at once. And Lethal Shadows has a whole bunch of conventions in March, like Emerald City Comic Con, so that's ECC coming up first, and then followed all too soon afterwards by PAX. And Lethal Shadows can talk about those events a little bit more. And Lethal Shadows, do you want to share your video again there, Lethal Shadows? Yeah, share your video again, because then you can really get a chance to see what all the array of wondrous products are. So again, we added more light here. Why do we do that? Nothing casts in a shadow here. Over here, not so much. So you can see how much light. Oh, here's what we haven't done in a while. I turn around this way. Okay, boom. I'm also going to zoom out, and then we're going to do this. Now, you're getting a little bit less of a sense, actually, the object source lighting as this is not quite, it's not quite so monochrome anymore. We have more different colors in here, but you can see it's lighter there, and now you can see how much darker it is underneath the horses. Look at that. See how light it is there. Look at how dark it is under the chair, and that's not just the light casting the shadow. That's a painted shadow there. So everybody, please check out that link there again from Lethal Shadows. Now watch. I think maybe this is the best angle. As the color returns, look at this. We're just about at 50%, and now you see again, look at that. See, toned down, warm colors, very saturated, kind of cooler greens over here. So we have, there's a little bit of value difference, sure. Also, color difference, saturation difference, temperature difference. There's several different types of contrast that go into creating that lighting effect.